AM 101.5 FM and ktcbroadcasting.com and live on Facebook. Also, be sure and stay tuned from 8:30 to 9 o'clock on 1390 AM 101.5 FM, ktcbroadcasting.com, and live on Facebook for half hour of praise and worship with Jesus until the whole world hears.
Unless the Lord builds a house, its builders labor over it in vain. This is from Psalms 127, and this verse is what Key Builders in Lincoln is built on. Key Builders in Lincoln is large enough to do what the big boys do, but small enough to be personal. Bring your own plans or visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and view theirs. They have homes for everyone, so call your local hometown builder. Key Builders, 704-735-0040, or visit their office at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Wednesday morning from 11 to 12 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Golf Shop Radio, Wednesday mornings at 11 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, online at ktcbroadcasting.com. Brought to you by Fred Caldwell Chevrolet in Clover, South Carolina.
I only do things incredible can, cause I am seed of a chosen breed. You don't see too many like me, cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do when you wanna be me instead of you, cause I am still on beat, showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me, cause that's who I am.
And good morning, KTC Broadcasting. Kevin Hastings, Terry Reinhardt, Will Boykins, and another guy.
Allen.
Sharon Allen. There we go.
And the guy.
Listen, if you want a proper introduction on this show,
Never
you
have me
have
do
to
it.
introduce yourself to JP before we go live on the air.
There you are,
Yeah,
Sharon.
Or it's
I
not going to
won't.
happen, JP.
Yeah.
Last night, Bill called, and it was Tim Johnson.
Oh, really? You bring that up this morning, really? Yeah.
Who was the other one? He did.
Dennis Davis.
Dennis Davis.
Yeah,
He
he
didn't
didn't
see
remember
that
Dennis
guy.
last night.
Dennis Davis was that guy.
And then we
last
hit
night.
Jeff. He called him Jeff Davis, and it was Jeff Miller on the phone that called in. So JP was on top of his game last night and this morning. This is Shannon Allen, JP.
Okay, yeah, I knew he did his pregame. That's all I knew, pretty much.
He's seen your picture before in the paper, Shannon, is what it is.
I can't hear it. We're supposed to hear out of this.
You have a knob on your headphone. You should be able to turn that up. Dennis turns it down way low. Is that better? Can you hear us good?
Oh, my goodness.
Well, good morning. What's wrong, Terry? Happy morning to you. How's your biscuit? Well, I ain't gonna say biscuit. You got way different. I don't know what kind of.
All I did
what
was
did you
got
get over
simple
here?
stuff.
7-course meal.
Rice and gravy and a piece of liver mush. I got easy today.
You didn't even tell me about the rice and
Yeah,
gravy.
it's
Well,
good.
you know,
Yeah, see, I would have had the rice and gravy.
Usually,
It is good.
Terry has a biscuit that's about yay thick and about 7 or 8 beats on it.
He told me about that biscuit, and I was like, yeah, that sounds good. I'm going to try that. Now I got thinking, man, I got to go to work if I do this.
Will Borg is in here this morning. Good morning, Will. He's all decked out in his clothes to go to work here. If you're watching live on YouTube, folks, we're enjoying our Mitchem's Kitchen Biscuit. Will's going to sell some cars in a little bit over at Shelby and Nissan, and then we're going over to MS Power Sports today, Terry. We've got free Subway sandwiches.
Sandwiches from Subway.
Subway sandwiches today in Lowell over at MS Power Sports. Go see the ATVs. They got some type of a deal in the paper about with an ATV purchase, get a free gun rack, I think is what it said. I'm going to pull that out here in just a little bit and give you guys the details. Calvin and Perk will be over there giving out the sandwiches 10 to 2 today.
Free gun rack.
Yeah.
Do they
Well,
put,
if you
do they
buy
put
an
the
antique-
daggum, my rifles, are they going to buy me those to stick in it and all that good stuff?
No.
Huh?
No, about your rifles. They clean.
Oh, come on. I mean, at least fill it up. If it's a 3 rack, give me 3. I mean, you know, come on now. But anyway,
Terry.
You might need that rack if you buy a new ATV to go hunting.
Well, if you got as many meats that Terry usually gets on his biscuit, you're going to have a gun rack to shoot something. Because the US, I don't think we can supply Terry's biscuit habit over there from Mitchem's Kitchen.
are we
Breakfast-
live on YouTube?
Yeah, we're live on YouTube.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
Breakfast, lunch, and why?
Well, the middle picture is awful dingy this morning.
The middle picture is awful dingy this morning.
Yeah.
What's wrong with mine? My what's wrong with the orange and
That's
brown?
pretty good.
Oh.
I was
What's wrong with the
wondering. I was
orange and
like,
brown?
"What you saying that?" But yeah, I got you. I'll get
Shannon,
it
they
now.
got jokes. I got one for you. You gonna play some Jeopardy with me?
Yes, go ahead.
Let's play some Jeopardy. The answer is Chris Chargers. What's the question?
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Who let the dogs out?
How about Tim Bulldog?
Who let the dogs out?
Oh boy, I agree.
Good morning,
For
baby.
this abuse.
That's the question for you, Shannon. So they got jokes over here. And also, this is for Sunday, too. We're going to play that during the NFL section, too, Will. So good morning for everybody.
I am so happy for all Browns fans, man. Y'all have been like bottom of the poll
He's
for
not a
40
Browns fan.
years. And you're finally going to have a team that they say can win something, but they're very still cocky. And that might hurt you in the long run.
Their quarterback had a winning record last year, so and they added a pretty decent receiver. He's okay. Defense is
Yeah,
really pretty
Landry
good.
last year.
Yeah, we're going to break that down in just a minute. First, I want you guys to give the scores. I'm going to go grab a paper. Before Will goes, we're going to talk NFL. Because I know that's what he's for. He talked high school football last night. We got to talk about his Packers on Thursday night and how great they how decent, okay they looked. Maybe
I looked awful.
Hey, listen,
That was awful.
listen. I don't. At the end of the day, the scoreboard said Packers win.
W, right? So, like I told Will last night, Shannon, we start reading these scores. McDowell and Bessemer City both lost last night. When you read those scores over, that's all that matters, okay? McDowell and Bessemer City both lost. Will, let's start reading the scores, and I'm going to go grab my paper, and we'll get ready to rock.
All right, it was the Burns Bulldogs that pulling the upset over Crest. It was 35-14. Lincoln with their first win of the season. Congratulations, Coach Glass. They beat North Gaston 32-14. Drone in a shootout, a track meet over there at Drone, 55-52 over Fred T. Ford. It's Maiden 40-13 over Bunker Hill. It was Keys Mountain 48-0 over TC Robertson. And Cherryville falls to the West Lincoln Rebels 69-6.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, it was Union Academy over Lake Norman Charter 42-16. Covenant Day defeats Pine Lake Prep 44-0. North Lincoln 51, West Caldwell 7. East Lincoln with a big win down at Ashbrook 20-7. Clover had no trouble with South Point 34-7. Thomas Jefferson, to me, the surprise, no trouble with Winston-Salem Carver 46-0. Mountain Island 47, Albemarle 6. Vance 35, Hunter Huss 0. Polk County shuts out another team from our area 42-0 over RS Central. They beat North Gaston last week 24-0. Stuart Kramer defeats East Gaston 34-0.
Real quick, Terry's upset of the night with would you say Jefferson or surprise on that one?
Yeah. Surprise.
I'm going to agree with Jeff Miller. Definitely the surprise is Bessemer City losing. So go ahead, next scores, Shannon.
All right, it was Brevard 16, East Rutherford 14, Bandy's 34, South
That's what he said
Caldwell
last night.
24. It was Patton defeating McDowell 3-0. High Brighton beat Ashe County 29-18, and Watauga defeated Reagan defeated Watauga 63-35. It was Newton Conover 31, Hickory 6, Forest View 64. Bessemer City
Squeaked by.
did not even show up.
Squeaked
0.
by. Whoa. We gave up less than Cherryville. Go ahead.
Yeah, but Cherryville scored. Anyway, okay, so
Don't rain on my parade, Shannon.
Cherryville, okay. Freedom Forest U hadn't scored 64 points in 3 years.
Yeah,
That's been one
probably,
game.
yeah,
All right, so Freedom 56, Eastburg 7. It was Statesville 49, Alexander Central 35. And Pisgah up in the mountains defeated Tuscola 14-0.
Listen, Shannon, Cherryville and Bessemer's defense a little leaky last night. Only gave up a combined 133. Just they got a few holes to shore up.
Could have been 134.
Not too consistent on the offense, though.
Yeah, and the Pisgah-Tuscola game last night,
What was
it
happening?
was kind of a down. Yeah, the most point, I mean, the drawing for the 50-50 was only 29,000. Yeah, they dropped 13,000 from the year before.
Recession.
$30,000 to $40,000 half
Do they
and
sell
half.
those tickets all week?
Online,
they do.
cards.
They sell them all the time, and
half
when
and
that
half.
game comes, I mean, so the winner only got 14.5. You know,
That's what we were talking. We're going to do the
I wouldn't even
pregame.
took it. Yeah.
Shannon, we're doing the pregame
gave
show.
it back to them.
We're doing the pregame show next year from that game, so we can all buy half and
That
half.
would
So
be
then we'll
awesome.
just drive back down the mountain.
I'm gonna make sure I got a few tickets.
If we win, we will not be back for the post game show, folks. If the post game show's canceled, we'll be in Cherokee with our half and half
That's
money.
it.
We're gonna put it all on what, black or red, one of them, and just let it ride, Terry.
Ride, let it ride on black.
Yeah. Let's see. I guess we did get all the scores now. Do we get all ours, Terry?
Oh yes. we
Okay,
got
good
them.
deal. All right, real quick, guys. Before we get into, we're going to get into the games later and talk about those later before after Will gets out of here and stuff. But I want to talk a little NFL action while Will's in the house. What's up, Shopper Power Poll? I know y'all love these. Come out this week, my NFL Countdown Power Poll, and basically all now this is an opinion poll. This is my opinion. Basically, but it's an eliminator poll. So if I don't think you have it's basically what I rank the teams based on. I think this is your chance to win the Super Bowl. So to get in the Super Bowl, you have to be a playoff team, right? So 12 teams, top 12 teams are my playoff teams. Every week I get rid of a team saying you have no chance of winning the Super Bowl. Goodbye, you're eliminated. I don't even want to talk about you the rest of the year, other than to pick the games on the weekends. So that's pretty much how this works. I've got last year's predictions in here to see how close I was on some and how bad we were. And we kind of it's pretty decent. I'd say about 75% of them I was within 2 games of. Missed a few couple ones pretty bad, but other than that, it was a pretty fairly decent year last year. Now, Terry, when we're going to do our picks here before Will goes, remember, on average, or usually it's on average 4 to it's on average 5, but we're going to do 6 because it's closer to that. Actually, it's like 5.55, something like that. 6 new teams in the playoffs every year. Okay, so I want you guys to be thinking about it because we've got to do our predictions. We're going to pull up the NFL standings and everything here in just a minute, but we're going to pick our new teams. So Terry, while I'm going through these, we've got to have these in mind, and there's a notepad there for Will and Shannon. Y'all want to start making some notes and anything. But what we're going to do is pick the playoff teams. We've got to get rid of 6 from last year, and this is how I've got it. So let's just go down the poll. The first team, I'm just eliminate them outright.
Here, hand me a pen.
You have not.
Oh, here we go.
I'm going to eliminate these teams outright, or this team outright. They're not winning the Super Bowl. This is exactly what I said in the paper. This isn't the worst team in the NFL. I'm actually predicting them to go 6-10. But bear in mind, this is a Super Bowl elimination poll. I do not believe they'll make the playoffs anyway, and we all know they're not winning the Super Bowl. So before we even start the season, folks, we're going to say goodbye to the Detroit Motor City Lions. So if you're a Lions fan, I'm not going to even talk about you the rest of the year in the poll. Will, goodbye to the Lions. So that's your division. You should feel good about that. I got rid of them. For news and notes, you guys wondering about who the playoff teams were last year, because you're going to have to eliminate those. I'll pull that up for you. And let's see. Last year, it was – oh, that was last year's play. That was this year's playoffs. Let's go to 18. I don't know why they would even just give the list for that. But anyway – we'll pull all those up. All right, so here's some of the teams. We'll start in the back end, Terry. I've got the Arizona Cardinals as the worst team at 31 right now. I have no idea what to think of Kyler Murray. Last year I predicted 5-11. They went 3-13. So what do you think about do you think the Cardinals are going to make a playoff run?
No.
No?
No.
Right.
And you're about in the right direction of where they will be. 3 or 4 wins is all I see them getting.
Now, this one is pretty questionable. A lot of teams like this. A lot of people like this team, but I still haven't seen nothing yet. At 30, Shannon, last year I predicted 6-10. They went 4-12. This year I'm predicting 5-11. The San Francisco 49ers. Do you feel good or bad about them this year?
No, they're awful.
You're in the same ballpark with me on that.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, so I wanted to make sure.
We got Arizona.
Well, yeah. Those. Well, let me tell you the teams from last year, guys, that made the playoffs, so you kind of know.
I'm just writing down. These are teams that are out.
Yeah, these
No
teams I'm
chance.
getting. Yeah, these
We
teams I'm
can't see
getting.
any
I'm
of
getting.
those guys right now.
So last year's playoffs teams, real quick: Colts, Texans. Write these down for you guys so you know who to mark. Which one of these teams you want to mark off? Colts, Texans, Chargers, Ravens, Chiefs, and Patriots. So last year's AFC was Colts, Texans, Chargers, Ravens, Chiefs, and Patriots. In the NFC, it was Seahawks, Cowboys, Eagles, Bears, Rams, and Saints. Seahawks, Cowboys, Eagles, Bears, and Saints. You have to get rid of 6 of those. And 6 teams stay, and you need 6 new teams to make the playoffs.
Seahawks, Cowboys.
Now, it don't have to be
Eagles,
3 in
Rams,
AFC, 3 in the
and
NFC.
Saints.
It just has to be 6. So 6 out, 6 new ones in. While we go through this poll, you guys start thinking about your playoff teams. At number 29, they were way up in the poll earlier before about 2 weeks ago. Will, I got the Indianapolis Colts at 29. I didn't know what to do with them. What do you think about Brissett? Last year I had them at 8-8. They went 10-6, made the playoffs. So I'm going to scratch them off as one of my playoff teams this year. I got them predicted at 5-11. What do you think about them Colts? With Brissett at quarterback.
That's
Should I ask the
that's
NC State
iffy.
fan over here?
I think you should just
I got
leave
2
it.
NC State fans over here. How y'all feel about Jacoby Brissett leading the Colts?
I'm not a State fan.
Oh, I
no.
thought you was a State fan. No, you're
Wow.
I forgot. You're a Clemson fan.
on,
Sorry.
man.
Terry, not good?
No, I'm not saying. I mean, as far as with toughness and being a pocket quarterback, Brissett is going to be what they need, but he's not the accurate passer that Luck is. I mean, they're going to miss something there. Can he lead a team? He's got to have everybody get behind him.
Does anybody
But-
feel him making a playoff run?
No, 6-10.
I got him at 5-11.
Yeah,
All right.
that's what I'm looking
Also at 5-11, I'm gonna let Will. We're gonna start on this end because I got a feeling you might want to talk about this in a little bit. 5-11, I got predicted last year. I predicted 6-10. They actually went 4-12. What is going on in Oaktown with Antonio Brown and the Raiders?
What a slideshow. That's not what I wanted to say.
That's not the word you want to say. That's not the word you want to use.
Listen, Antonio Brown is proven himself to be a distraction in Pittsburgh. He went to Oakland and did the same thing, and he caused a big distraction, and now he's being a distraction. He's scratched from the game Sunday, which kills his guarantees. All his guarantees he signed up for.
Well, they're talking about Monday night, and they've come back yesterday, and said they might play. And then yesterday, have you seen the phone call with Gruden that he posted online? Oh my gosh, Will. So Gruden called him, pretty much asked him he cussed him a couple times, asked him what he's doing. He told him to cut the what'd you say, slide, cut the slide. Yeah. AB records it, threw some music on it, and made a video of the phone call and posted it on the internet. So it's even gotten crazier since the last thing you've heard. This fool recorded the conversation with his coach, cussed him and telling him to get on the field and stuff, and made a music video out of it.
I'll tell you what. I think if I'm Mike Mayock, who's the general manager of the Raiders, Antonio Brown is no longer a part of that team because Mayock's a no-nonsense type of guy. And I'm surprised he's even went this far with the helmet issue and everything else.
Would you take any type of a trade? Just anything? Or just straight cut him?
I don't know. Who are you going to trade him to?
Somebody will take him.
Somebody will take him. Yeah, somebody's going to take him.
They'll take you.
Who will take him?
Y'all will. You will. Jerry Jones come out so quick.
Oh, yeah.
I think Jerry Jones is through with the slideshow too. So
I think
Zeke put on a pretty good show down there for them. So I don't know if Jerry Jones will be in line. I mean, Antonio, if when he's on the field, he's playing football. He's probably one of the most brilliant offensive threats is out there at receiver. It's just that you got to take the good with the
Well,
bad.
Don't the Panthers need a receiver?
Not him.
Not him.
Not
What do you mean,
him.
Shannon?
Not
That's
him.
all I've talked about for years. You need a
No,
receiver.
no,
You got
no.
rid of Steve, and then now you don't want Antonio.
no.
Huh? All right, number
No.
27.
We're going to have too many distractions.
Last year I predicted 5-9. They went. 5-11. They went 7-9 last year. I got them at 6-10 between them. We'll cut the difference.
They don't need a receiver like Antonio Brown.
This team. Oh,
No.
you talk about them, the Panthers.
Hmm.
Well, that's those two would have. That would be the best Instagram
Could
show
you
ever.
imagine?
Well, I want to watch Cam
Could you
and Antonio
imagine
Brown
that?
go shopping for hats. How about
I
that
know,
scarves? That would be awesome.
Imagine.
All right, Terry, at 27, I got the Dolphins with Fitzpatrick at quarterback. They're pretty much saying they're rebuilding and tanking. I think is Trevor Lawrence going to be able to come out this year? Is that what they're doing? Or can he not?
I think he come out next.
Does he have to wait another
I think
one
it's
year?
junior year, yeah.
Okay.
After his junior
So they're pretty much tanking. You see them
3
making
wins.
playoff runs.
No.
I got them at
No.
6-10. And that's not even feeling good. I think Fitzpatrick. You know why? And it's not that I think they're that good, Terry. I went down their schedule, and early on, they've got some home winnable games where teams fly across the country. We're coming to South Beach. It's still warm outside. And Fitzpatrick's going to throw 400 yards on somebody at home and steal a game or two. So I feel about you. I went down the schedule like, they ain't going to win that many games. But there's some teams like San Diego's coming across the country. They're not, you going to pick San Diego to come all the way across the country and Oakland to come all the way across the country to win in Miami? I don't know. But even if it is Fitzpatrick down there. But, I don't see any playoff runs for the Dolphins now, too. Yes, no. All right, the Buffalo Bills, I got them at the next spot, kind of in the same spot. I don't know what to do about Josh Allen. He's kind of like Blake Bortles with a cannon. He likes to run around, but he can sling it around. Might throw a hole. He might throw a hole through Cole Beasley's chest this year up there in Buffalo when it gets below 30 degrees. Might knock him over. That ball's going to be heavy from Allen. Cole Beasley ain't that big, too. Do you see the Bills making a playoff run anymore?
Yes.
No.
I do see
They made them last year.
They got a 2 years ago.
2 years ago. They made it 2 years ago.
They got a pretty good defense, and I think that's what's going to hold them right now.
Shannon likes the Bills.
I like the Bills. That's one of my teams in the playoffs.
All right, number 25, I got the New York Football Giants. And 24, the New York Football Jets. So if you noticed, I put and Buffalo all in a row. New York football, from my opinion, is not going to be good this year. Almost like Western Gaston County football this year. The Bills and the Giants and the Jets. I got them all at 5-10, 6-11. Do anybody see the Jets making a playoff run? No. Okay. Well, let me skip on over then. We're going to move on over to page 20 in the What's Up Shopper. Where am I getting my news notes from, folks? Page 20 in the What's Up Shopper. How about that MS Power Sports Hunter Special? Free gun rack, Terry, with an ATV or UTV purchase. 704-824-2787. And while you're there buying a sandwich and signing up and paying up, they'll feed you. You're not buying a sandwich. Buying an ATV, they'll give you a free sandwich. If you buy a sandwich, you don't get a free ATV. That's not how that works. Got that a little bit backwards. Over at 23, now this is where a playoff team from last year. I just don't. This is the NFL. This is where we're going to have to start from here on in. This is where we're going to have to start questions and arguments on this. Probably. I'm not that big of a fan of this team. I don't think they can do it. And plus, they're in my team's division. I've got the Baltimore Ravens at 23, out of the playoffs, missing it this year. They're one of my teams I'm kicking out of the playoff. Running quarterbacks don't win Super Bowls. They usually don't even have winning seasons unless they have a top 10 defense. C. Cam Newton was my notes on the Ravens. Do any of y'all have the Ravens returning to the playoffs of one of your 12 teams?
Yeah, they're going to win your division.
Win the division, says Will, over the Steelers and the
you're not going to the playoffs. The
and the
Browns
Browns.
don't go to the playoffs.
So Lamar Jackson is going to win more games in the NFL than Big Ben and Baker Mayfield.
Absolutely.
What about Andy Dalton?
Absolutely.
The wild card game is going to be Cleveland against the Ravens.
Cleveland against the Ravens. Well, I got Ravens at 6-10, so we got a little disagreement there. How about number 22? Pretty much the same exact team. Crappier quarterback, in my opinion. The Chicago Bears. I got them at 6-10 on the season. Last year I predicted 6-10. They went 12-4, so I totally missed them last year. But like I said, 6 teams got to come out of this playoff, so we got to start cutting teams. And them and the Bears and the Ravens with no quarterback play for me, I'm not too thrilled about. Terry, playoff team for the Bears?
No
playoffs. Will, Shannon?
I don't know. You gotta hang the hat on that defense, though. And I know Thursday
you got to
night,
score more than 3 points.
You got to score more than 3, and I will understand. I get that, but
They kept us under 17, and they didn't.
In my opinion, The UNC middle linebacker is a better quarterback than the Bears have.
I agree with that.
At number 21.
But Trubisky's got, I think, stronger arm. Now, Trubisky can throw a football a mile, but he don't have any help.
Good
But
decisions.
well, that too, yeah. But I think their defense is going to help the Bears.
When
Their
they cut
defense gonna
Glennon
help 'em.
and took Trubisky, I knew they were in trouble.
State fan. All right, number 21. Here's Hunter's team. They had a great defense last year. Then everybody started getting hurt. I've got that 21 going 7-9. The Washington Redskins. But I did quote Terry. Gave a little punch to Tom in here on my quote. I said you can never trust an Ohio State quarterback. So I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. Case Keenum's going to start the season in Washington instead of Haskins, though, and looking kind of like with the Miami schedule, Terry. Washington was still a gamer. Keenan ain't terrible. He's going to do if their defense plays like it did last year. I've got them at 7-9. They can win 3 or 4 games with him playing a decent game.
To me, their biggest question is their line, their offensive linemen. I mean, you don't have Trent Williams back yet, and that's a guy who's really going to protect the quarterback.
Right.
And last year, I mean, they were pulling guys off of defense to come to offense just to have protection. And I don't know whether they've got that. I don't know whether a quarterback in their backfield can withstand the whole season.
All right, we're going to – I don't know if we should skip this one. It's time for a break. JP, you still sitting there? All right, it's time for a break. When we come back, it's time for Panther Talk. Now, I know Shannon's not going to be happy with my picks, but I don't care, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. We're going to do a little quick comparison of Cam Newton and Andy Dalton when we get back in just a minute on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Oh, Lord.
Who are you? You're not a goat. Oh, you say you feel like a goat since you didn't buy your car from Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. And now you're putting up with a bunch of bull. Don't be like my friend here. You get no bull at Renato Honda and Renato Kia at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. 4423 East Dixon Boulevard. Don't let another dealer get your goat.
Duke football plays here.
Fires, what a catch! Lost the football, came out at the end, picked up by Duke.
Catch the excitement of Blue Devil football all season long.
Let's count it out. 10-5, touchdown. Here comes pressure. He's sacked. Cuts to the middle, and he will score. And the Blue Devils win it.
On your home for Duke football.
Duke, North Carolina, and Clemson football on the Boss in Carolina Country. WHS, WCSL, and WLON. Online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
Is the cost of ink driving your profits down? Then listen up. Discount Ink Jet and Toner is here to help. Discount Ink Jet and Toner specializes in refilling ink jet and toner cartridges. Cut your ink costs by as much as 50% or more. Discount Ink Jet and Toner, located on 410 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. 100% satisfaction guaranteed.
Check out the new rates at the Crows Mountain Golf Course, voted Gaston County's #1 golf course. Play and ride Monday through Friday for $28. After 1 p.m., just $25. Seniors 55 and older play and ride for $25 Monday through Friday, and Monday is Ladies' Day. Play and ride for only $18. And on weekends and holidays, play and ride for only $38. After 11 a.m. for $33. Crowder's Mountain Golf Course. For your tee time, call 704-734-0383.
If you've been thinking about joining the Cherryville Golf and Country Club, the month of September is the time to do so. During the month of September, you can join the Cherryville Golf and Country Club for only $99 initiation fee. That's right, only a $99 initiation fee. Call the Cherryville Golf and Country Club for all the details at 704-435-6597. So if you love golf, you're going to love the $99 initiation fee for the month of September, and you're going to love the Cherryville Golf and Country Club on the Warrior Acre Road in Cherryville. There's no one like you. And Pandora Jewelry is opening up all kinds of possibilities to show that to the world with the new open bangle. Beautifully crafted from sterling silver with new interchangeable end caps. You can mix, match, and even have the freedom to customize like never before. Shop the new open bangle from Pandora Jewelry now and do see the wonderful Pandora Jewelry. Available at Facet Foundry Jewelry Studios, 530 South New Hope Road, Gastonia. Online at FacetFoundryJewelry.com.
And welcome back to Sam Morris Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. They're chowing down on some breakfast last night. Well, at least Kevin does. So, I mean, probably something like that.
Welcome back.
I just work here.
Who
Good
are we
morning.
back? No warning again, JP. Thank you.
He might have warned us. I don't
He
know
did.
JP's, JP's a ninja, man. He just
We're too busy
strikes
talking.
me.
I give him credit. He did. He said last ad. He was telling us.
So Terry heard it.
So the other ninja
Playing
heard it.
super, playing super secret. All right, let's pick up the poll before Will has to go. Then he'll have a comment or two on high school football. We'll go ahead and talk about. We're going to skip ahead, talk about Will's team real quick, and then we can finish up the poll and other teams.
We're
Terry,
gonna
Terry,
skip ahead and talk about the 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers.
Who?
If you get to say that, do I get to say the Browns in?
How many Super Bowls they won?
Do I get to say the Browns
Not no
champion?
13.
The 13-time
He's confused about what to
world
say
champions.
now.
He's thinking Ric Flair. He thinking
The 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers.
Here we go, talking about back when 1800 something,
Dude.
when nobody played.
How about them Browns?
So you telling me that Vietnam never happened? Are you telling me Vietnam never happened?
I did not think the Packers' argument for championships was going to get into Vietnam, but here we are. Terry, I've got the
Just
Packers.
because your history ain't that deep over there, cowboy, don't you just embark mine?
Oh, wow.
I have
shot
the-
across the bow.
I have
right
the
there.
Packers at. Last year I predicted 11-5. They went 6-9-1. Of course, injury from Rodgers. There's been some news and notes this past year that there's all kind of smoke out of Green Bay that he's not getting along with his new coach. How's that going to go? They're talking about, the audible situation, yada yada yada. I've got them in the playoffs, squeaking in as a wild card team at 10-6. How do the other three of you have the Packers? Are they in or out of one of your new teams?
They are in on my end.
They're in.
Yeah.
They're in.
I in on all of you.
As
And
a
that's
wild
not
card.
squeaking in. We're going to win our division.
Well, I've got the Vikings winning your division, but
No, sir.
y'all can squeak. I mean,
No, sir.
What
we have a
defense-
defense now.
It's not as
No,
good as
sir.
the Vikings, is it?
No, but the Vikings is not that good on.
Their quarterback threw for 4,000 yards last year.
Listen,
So here's
they
what's
got Kirk
strange.
Cousins.
Yeah, he threw for 4,000 yards last year.
We got rid of Detroit a while ago. Green Bay and Chicago is not too much better than Detroit.
Coming from a Cowboy
man.
fan, I didn't expect any more. It's right
All right,
there.
have y'all got y'all's teams in that y'all think's going to make it?
Close.
In and out? We about ready? All right, so let's do that before Will gets out of here. So in and out, 6 teams in the playoffs, 6 teams out from the year before, folks. That's how this works. That's how it usually works in the NFL, so we're going to kind of stick to that. As a reminder, here's the teams in the playoffs from last year. Colts, Texans, Chargers, Ravens, Chiefs, Patriots, Seahawks, Cowboys, Eagles, Bears, Rams, and Saints. 6 of those have to come off your list. It's tough, isn't it? It is tough because you got to replace them. So, Terry, are you ready for yours? You want to start with you? I know this is new for Shannon and Will. I can kind of go over. I'll give into mine while you guys finish up your list. I'm getting rid of the Colts. I'm getting rid of the Ravens. And then I'm getting rid of the San Diego Chargers in the AFC. That's who I'm getting rid of in the AFC. In the NFC,
They're the LA Chargers now, aren't they?
that is true. Why did I say San Diego? Sorry, folks. Golly, that was awful. They play the Panthers on Sunday, too. The teams are getting rid of the NFC. Bye-bye to the Seahawks. Bye-bye to the Rams. And bye-bye to the Dallas Cowboys. So my playoff team's returning, for a reminder, in the AFC, Patriots, Chiefs, and Texans. That one I'm wishy-washy about. In the NFC, I've got returning to the playoffs, Eagles, Rams, and Saints. All the way going up to the Super Bowl. I'll give you those real quick. I've got in the Super Bowl for the 3rd year in a row, Terry, the New England Patriots versus the New Orleans Saints. The Saints have had their hearts ripped out the last 2 years. Yeah. Remember? The dumb DB for the Saints decided to, the year before, duck and cover when they threw the pass down on the sideline. Yeah, 2 years in a row. They were so close to being there, and then just something crazy's happened. Now, I told Terry, this is the last year I'm going to pick this. I mean, you can only pick 2 40-year-old quarterbacks back so many times to make the Super Bowl. But this is their Saints ain't got too many more rides left for Breeze. I want to go with them once again on that. Now, are you guys ready for your playoff teams, Terry?
He's
still not ready.
No,
Will's got to go in a minute. Will, you ready for your playoff teams?
I am. I'm gonna tell you who I'm kicking out.
All right, who you got?
I'm kicking out the Bears and I'm putting in the Packers.
All right.
And I'm gonna go with the Packers. What's the NFC? We got 4 NFC.
Yep. East, West, North, and South.
So we're going Packers.
I think I did that right.
Packers, Rams. New Orleans.
Who's in the East? Eagles,
As
Cowboys,
much as it
Redskins,
pains me to say this,
Giants.
The Cowboys.
Oh God! I told y'all not to drink before y'all came in the mornings.
AFC, it'll be Kansas City is number 1.
You got to get rid of 4 teams in the AFC because you kept 4 in the NFC.
I gotta get rid of who?
You got to get rid. You got to get rid of 4 teams in the AFC now because you kept 4 in the NFC.
We gotta do that? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I hate to interrupt, but Hunter's on the line too.
Tell him he at the game.
Tell Hunter to call back in just a minute. Will's got to leave. Will's got to leave in 5 minutes. Let me finish up and Hunter can call and talk all he wants. Will, you got to get rid of 6 and keep 6. That's the deal.
So how many did I get rid of?
You got rid of 4. You only got rid of 2 in the NFC from last year. Okay. So you got to get rid of 4 in the NFC. So if you're going to keep Patriots and Chiefs, that means everybody else in the AFC is going to miss. You got 4 new playoff teams. Who are they in the AFC? Browns. You got to have 4 new teams. It's not like the AFC's that good. Steelers. There's one of the 4.
Who won?
I'm gonna tell you who's going to win the AFC, or at least make the playoffs in the AFC West.
The Texans and the Colts. Colts won that division.
Texans won it. They had the home field last year. But Colts lost Andrew Luck.
I like the Texans.
The Texans are in a.
Texans lost Clowney now.
They traded everybody. Bill O'Brien he's on the hot seat. So what coaches that are general managers do, they trade all their future draft picks for players now. So he's trying to win this year. He's bringing everybody in to see what they can do. So you got the Texans. If you can't have the Texans coming back, could you get rid of 4 teams?
I gotta get rid of 4.
So you gotta have the Titans in the NFC South. Mariota back to the playoffs from the year before.
Well, okay, so
what do you
Texas
think, Shannon,
made
in
it.
the
We're
South?
gonna have to change.
You got to kick somebody else out of the NFC. You got to get rid of the Cowboys or the Eagles or the Rams or the Saints. One of those can't stay. If you're going to keep the Texans. I told you, this is a hard game. And it happens every year, don't it, Terry?
Does.
We can sit there and look at it and we're like, goodness, we didn't think that team was going to make it the year before or the year after. Some of the Super Bowl teams don't make it the year after.
That is a kind of, you just have to pick teams that innate.
You got to go on a limb for some teams, and that's what makes it so hard about it. So I'll tell you mine. I've got in the playoffs. I think the Texans coming back. Actually, so I've got Patriots, Eagles, Saints, Chiefs, Rams, Browns, Steelers, Falcons, Broncos, Texans, Vikings, and Packers. I love me some Joe Flacco because the one thing he can't do, he can beat Tom Brady. Listen to this, Will. Joe Flacco is 17-4 in the playoffs. No, 17-5. I did put that wrong. They lost an extra one to Big Ben. So 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 times. 17-4 in the playoffs. Here's who he's beat in the playoffs. You ready? Chad Pennington. He made AFC championships. Peyton Manning, Kaepernick Super Bowl. Roethlisberger, Kerry Collins made a Super Bowl. And then these are some of the Cam Newton All-Stars that Cam beats in the playoffs. Matt Castle, T.J. Yates beat them. Beat Andrew Luck. And Joe Flacco, ladies and gentlemen, has beaten Tom Brady twice. Not once, but twice. So if you're keeping score, Flacco has beat Pennington AFC Championship game, Peyton Manning a bunch of championships, Kaepernick, Roethlisberger, Kerry Collins made a Super Bowl, Andrew Luck, everybody loves him, and Tom Brady twice. These are the only people who have managed to beat Joe Flacco in the playoffs.
Wait a minute.
Tom Brady once, Peyton Manning beat him once, and Big Ben beat him twice.
Did Flacco beat those teams, or did that good Raven defense beat those? Because Ravens, when they won the Super Bowl, they had what's his name?
How many points did Ravens
Hasselbeck
defense
or
score?
whatever. What?
How many points did Ravens defense score?
How many points did they keep the other team from scoring?
How many points did the Ravens defense score? All the points.
They got to score 7. You win.
It ain't that good. I think they give up 10 in that Super Bowl. He beat his brother in the Super Bowl, actually. Yeah. So Joe Flacco, 17-4 playoffs, and the only people that's ever beat him, they all have Super Bowl wins. Brady, Big Ben, and Peyton. I like him making a run in Denver this year. I don't know. The Chiefs are going to score so many points. I don't know if they can win that division because of them. But if it was in the South, like Will sitting over delivered, I'd be picking them in a heartbeat to win that division. Will, you got your picks down yet? All right. So Will don't want to do his picks.
I'm going to do mine.
All right, Terry.
All right. In the NFC, Dallas, New Orleans, and the Eagles will be back.
Okay.
Green Bay, Minnesota, and Atlanta will be the new ones.
See, I got the exact same teams except I got Dallas out.
Well, it's kind of hard to throw Dallas out. I mean, I don't care who you are, you better think defense. And Dallas defense is going to be in the top 5.
They are.
You know what I'm saying? And if you're kicking Dallas out, then you just kicking them out because you don't like Dallas.
Top 5 over there, what, division?
Yeah, they're in the East.
Yeah.
Is Jeff Heath still playing safety?
The least.
All right. In the AFC.
That's all I need to know.
I'm bringing New England back. Nobody in that division. Everybody else is terrible.
Isn't that so
New
sad?
England, Chargers, and the Ravens.
The Jets have not replaced Joe Namath. The Bills haven't replaced Jim Kelly, and the Dolphins still haven't replaced Dan Marino. Go ahead, Terry.
So, I mean, I'm keeping New England, the Chargers, and the Ravens.
Right.
And I'm bringing in Pittsburgh.
You getting rid of the Chiefs?
They're terrible. Pittsburgh, I did that last year. I told everybody that last year they'll not make it.
And they made
Pittsburgh,
yeah.
Cleveland, and the Titans.
Come on, man.
They lost to the Patriots by 6 in overtime in the conference championship game.
Yeah, sophomore jinx. Guy's not as good as what he thought. He lit people up. You gave everybody a whole year to study this
Now, that's
guy.
what he says about Kansas City now. Terry, tell us how good Dak Prescott is.
But Dak Prescott's in his 4th year now.
He's not better than Pat Mahomes.
But Dak's got a lot of people around him.
He's always had a lot
Pat
of people
Mahomes has
around.
nobody.
Come on, man.
Will, you got to go.
I
Who
gotta
is
go,
your
but
Super Bowl? Give me your AFC and NFC championships.
No, my
And then Super
prediction
Bowl.
for the Super Bowl has not changed since day one we started this thing.
Browns over who?
That was not my prediction.
What? Browns over Bears.
No.
Who? Who you got?
The Bears are going to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, you can't talk to fans.
Green
you can't
Bay.
talk to fans.
I'm
You just
telling
can't talk to
you.
them. All right, Will, I got a couple questions before you go. A couple quick laughs. Maybe. Shannon. No, let's start with Will. I'll ask Terry since he's not from Cleveland County. Terry, who is the worst team in Cleveland County right now?
Ooh, Chris.
Terry, who is the best team in Cleveland County right now with a 2-1 record versus their county opponents right now? Not the best team, second best team. Sorry, best team in the Southwest 2A is where I was trying to mean. Who's the best team in the Southwest 2A right now with a win over Crest? And they last time I checked, they beat the 2A defending champions in that division.
They haven't played them this year.
And South Point is 1-2.
They haven't played them this year.
Who's the best team in the Southwest 2A right now, Terry?
I mean, you kind of make me like double standard here. Shelby's the best team in Cleveland County. Burns would be next.
Right? Whoa. Last time they played, who won, Will?
Last time Shelby and Burns played, Burns won.
Okay, so if you look at the things, look at this.
But they
this
haven't
schedule.
played this year. We're in a whole new.
They've
football
played within
season.
365 days of each other of today.
Yeah.
So it's listen. South Point is
They
1-2.
haven't played in 2019.
South Point's 1-2. Burns just beat Crest. Burns beat Shelby last time they played them.
Shelby
How are they
2-0.
not the favorite in that conference?
Not,
Shelby 2-0.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah, it's cute.
What's Shelby's record in the last one versus
we can tell
Burns?
you play ball in Western Gaston.
See,
Gaston County.
wait a minute.
Northwest guys.
Only in Cleveland County can Burns beat Shelby, beat Crest, and y'all turn around and say they're not better than any one of them. How does that happen? I want an explanation. They beat Shelby last time.
Because
they beat Crest. Now, I can't say nothing because Kings Mountain smoked them, but they're smoking everybody.
Listen.
What?
You're going a whole football season behind. Catch up.
I just said last time they played.
No, catch up.
Wait a minute. Does Burns got the same quarterback as last year?
Yes.
Does Burns got the same running back as last year?
Yes.
Does Shelby have the same quarterbacks last year?
Yeah, ask me.
Does Shelby have the same?
No.
Wait a minute, does Shelby have the same wide receiver as last year?
Do Crest have the same quarterback from last year?
I have no idea what Crest is doing.
They do not.
Does Burns have a state championship from last year?
Yeah, they do.
No, they do not.
Yeah, they do.
They
beat the champs.
No.
They ain't even played it yet. They had the play-in game out in Chapel Hill, wherever the Shelby played, whoever they played down east, and they still ain't. And they come to Lawndale and they ain't played it yet. I'm just saying. There's an argument to be made for Burns fans right now.
Oh, I'm with them. They're good.
Make your argument for the Burns fan, but make it a definitive
argument. They're the second best team in Cleveland County right now and the best team in the Southwest 2A right now.
If you'd go up to Coach Devine right now, Coach Devine would look at us and go, yeah, just have everybody not even think about us. I like it that way.
Are the South Fork 2A teams looking forward to playing the Bulldogs in the playoffs, Terry?
No. They're not.
All we got to do is stop one player.
Shannon, is that true? Or did you see a little bit more than that last night?
A little bit more than that last
night.
Yeah, there was a lot more than that. Yeah.
Well, this on account of Chris is not as strong as they have been. And this is me as a person on the outside looking at them. Chris's defense is their only hope. Their offense is not good.
No.
I mean,
we got to run more than 10 plays on offense at Chris, and they ran 10 plays last night. And they ran the same.
One thing that shocked me, and I know if we're going to get into it, the number 8, the Hall kid, he's a man. This dude's like 6'2", 6'3".
6'2".
Big boy, and he's a sophomore. And I saw him run one time, and he gained 15, 16, maybe 20-something yards, and they never went back to it. Maybe towards the end of the game when it was over. But that really surprised me about Chris. Like, wow. I mean, they got some problems.
They got some management problems. Player management problems. It's a lot of kids up there. It's a lot of kids up there that can play, but I think it's a lot of kids up there that's got to gain the coach's trust. If you don't trust the kid, you ain't going to put him in the game. So it's a lot of kids up there that's got to gain the coach's trust and show that they can play.
All right, well, have a good day. Have a good Saturday. You had a good breakfast, I assume, from Mitchem's Kitchen.
Enjoyed you guys. Y'all have a great day.
You've ate well the past 15 hours, Will, I would have to say.
I don't want this gig. Just show up for an hour and or 45 minutes, get you a breakfast.
Yeah. And then go sell a car, somebody. Go sell a car. Somebody go buy a car from Will today or at Nissan or Shelby. Calvin Hastings Day giving out free sandwiches from Subway out in Low today at MS Power Sports. Go check out him and Perk. They'll be giving out all kinds of door prizes and stuff too. We'll have a good ride home. I'll give you something to listen to on the way home here in a second. It's almost break time. I'm sure JP is in there.
Let me get my pick. Right. Let me get my Super Bowl.
Oh, we're not even close to the NFL.
Oh, okay.
Right. But we had to rush some Will stuff in there before we go. We still got the top 12 in my picks. We got to talk about you Panthers this weekend and Andy Dalton and all kinds of fun things. Shannon. We come back later. We'll talk high school sports. We'll go over our top 10 and more. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. We're going to finish up the What's Up Shopper NFL preview and power poll on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Join the boss as we broadcast live this Saturday, September 7th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at MS Power Sports in Gastonia. We'll be there with free Subway sandwiches, chips and soft drinks too, and register to win some great prizes. And be sure to check out the Hunter specials on ATVs, UTVs, and side-by-sides. Prices have been slashed for this special day. So plan now to be there this Saturday, September 7th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at MS Power Sports, 4804 Wilkinson Boulevard in Gastonia, online at mscycles.com.
Who are you? You're not a goat. Oh, you say you feel like a goat since you didn't buy your car from Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. And now you're putting up with a bunch of bull. Don't be like my friend here. You get no bull at Renato Honda and Renato Kia at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard. Don't let another dealer get your goat.
Isolated and alone?
That's how millions of Americans feel while experiencing a mental health crisis.
Need to talk? Our providers love to listen.
Call us now at 1-888-235-HOPE.
That's 1-888-235-4673.
Partners, improving lives and strengthening communities in North Carolina. 1-888-235-HOPE. 235-4673.
In 2019, our Atlanta Braves are looking to defend their National League East title, and we'll bring you every play from this epic season.
And a drive to right field. That ball is tagged. That ball is gone into the chop house. Ozzie Albies strikes back.
Atlanta Braves baseball back again on the Boston Carolina Country. WHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, WCSL Cherryville, Gastonia.
Join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. for our Sunday morning worship services. On WCSL 1590 AM and 92.3 FM, it's the Sunday morning service of First Baptist Church in Cherryville. On WLON 1050 AM and 107.5 FM, it's the Sunday service of the Covenant Bible Church in Lincoln. And on WOHS 1390 AM and 101.5 FM, it's the Sunday service of the Calvary Baptist Church of Shelby. Join us each and every Sunday morning for our Sunday morning worship services on the Boss and Carolina Country.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Wednesday morning from 11 to 12 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Golf Shop Radio, Wednesday mornings at 11 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, online at ktcbroadcasting.com. Brought to you by Fred Caldwell Chevrolet in Clover, South Carolina.
And we're back on Sunday Morning Sports Talk. Before you even say anything, I got Hunter on the line.
Can I talk now?
Yeah, you can
I can talk now. It's Hunter. JP didn't say. Hunter, are you there?
Hunter. What's up, man?
Where you at? Where you at, Hunter? Right now, this second.
As of right
Don't stay
now,
on the
this
toilet.
second, I am sitting in the living room of some friends that we are visiting out here in Raleigh.
Oh, you're already in Raleigh. Good.
They were last night.
Yes, I am in Raleigh. I came here after the Northeast and Lincoln game.
Golly. Well,
I got in
have
at
a
about
night.
12:20. Yeah.
All right, Hunter, you're familiar with pool play, right?
I am familiar with pool play.
So you're a soccer fan. You did the American Legion World Series and all this other stuff, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you got 4 teams in a pool.
Right.
And between the 4 teams, they all played each other 3 times total. 2 teams are 2-1. 2 teams are 1-2. Right. So which teams go advance?
The 2-1 teams.
Okay, that's the point I'm trying to make here. These Cleveland Cowboys don't listen to me. Crest, Shelby, Burns, and Kings Mountain, Hunter, all playing each other the last 3 times. Crest and Shelby are 1-2 against the other 2 opponents, and Kings Mountain and Burns are 2-1. And I'm telling them that Burns and Kings Mountain would advance, and Burns is the best team in the Southwest 2A right now at this second, right?
I was about to say, if you put it in terms as of right now, then yeah, as of right now.
Last
but if
3
they
times?
play whenever they play Shelby next, and if
Shelby
if it
lost Crest
changes
last
from
year,
the
and just
outcome
lost
last
to Burns,
year,
and they beat Kings Mountain.
Just
yeah,
last year.
The last time they played each other.
Oh, you said last 3 times.
Yeah, the last time they played each other, that's their records.
Last year.
Hunter, I don't know if you've noticed it on your way. Did you listen? Did you know who the number 1 team is now?
I was watching this morning on YouTube, and I actually made a note because I have a Word document up with my playoff teams, but I made a note at the end to say there's a certain logo, because I don't know if you guys had gone over the power poll yet, but there's a certain logo sitting at the top that I know probably burns the hide of a lot of people except me.
What'd you see on there, Hunter?
I saw a nice big green Trojan head sitting at the number 1 spot in the high school power poll for What's Up Shopper, and I'm going to be honest, I'm getting kind of used to seeing it.
You're getting kind of used to seeing it. Hunter, The team that was there fell from 1 to 13th, so it can dissipate real fast.
Terry. If you ain't first, you're last. Okay?
Yes,
What have I
apparently.
always said these
Hang
past
around in the
weeks?
top 10.
Now,
The
Hunter, you guys
standard
were
is the standard.
right. The standard is the standard,
Yeah.
Terry. Hunter,
That standard will be broken before long.
Bandies were number 1 in the power poll a few weeks last year, weren't they?
Yes, they were.
They finished
yes, they
in the
were
top
until
five,
they hit
yeah.
a bye week, and then they hit a
think they
bye
finished
week, and
4.
then they fell out.
I think they finished 4th last year, didn't they? Or something like that.
They finished,
Or
yeah,
fifth,
they
4th or
finished in the
5th.
top 5 last year.
Yep. So they're number 1 now, and that South.
I thought they were in for a dogfight last night, but it's good to see that they came out on top.
Well, looking across, you got in 3 of the top 5 teams right now, Hunter, are in the South Fork 2A conference.
You know which one stands out to me the most, and it might for everybody else, is Newton Conover.
Right. We try to tell
And
people down there at the Jamboree they look pretty decent.
We
didn't they?
did. We did. My buddy Colton Medlin is the defensive line coach up there at Newton Conover. He graduated with me. And I texted him after I covered their Kings Mountain Newton Conover Jamboree game. I said, look, y'all going to be competitive because what I saw was a bunch of athleticism and speed. So I think it's well earned that they're within, the top 5 or 6 spots.
That's who Burns has next. They got a bye week next week, then they go to Newton.
Yeah, Burns and Newton Conover in 2 weeks, Hunter.
That's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good game.
So, Hunter.
Yeah, right.
Terry don't feel too confident in that. He thinks, I guess Newton's going to dominate the Bulldogs, Terry.
Hey, I mean, come on. Newton beat, Hickory last night. Okay, Hickory's been plummeled, falling to 0-3 on the year.
Yeah, them and Crest both having a tough year so far.
Yeah.
I can't get these boys to join my join my pool play idea here, Hunter.
Yeah.
Burns beats them
why.
by 3 touchdowns.
So Terry thinks the Bulldogs will come out victorious next 2 weeks against Newton Conover. They'll be dropping in the polls a little bit by then if Wesleyan keeps winning. Maybe Thomas Jefferson keeps winning. Even the Storm just depends on where they're going to go in the poll. Bandy's moving forward. Hunter, that conference, like I said, 3 in the top 5 right now. The rest of the top 6 is Burns, Shelby, and Kings Mountain, and then 7, Thomas Jefferson. 8, the Rebels. There's another team, so you got 4 in the top 8 from that conference right now this second. So you got some pretty good football to watch up there in the conference, and don't sleep on Lincoln's defense, right? And that's not even,
definitely don't sleep on Lincoln's defense.
And that's naming 4 teams before we even talked about North Lincoln, who's at 12 right now.
Absolutely, and Lincoln started a freshman quarterback last night, Reed King.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. He can throw the football. He can throw the football. Leading up to that game, Lincoln had only scored 7 points in 2 games. They put up, I think I tweeted out 34 last night.
32
that's a pretty big jump.
Yep, 32 on the final on that. And they host East Gaston next week, who lost to North Gaston, Hunter.
Yes. So that's a positive. That's going to be possibly another win for Lincoln and another game to raise your morale on. Go out there and have a good offensive performance. But the defense is really stout. It's really stout.
You got something, Terry?
I'm just listening to Hunter. That's all I'm doing.
Well, I got some more.
You scored 32
Terry,
You scored 32 against
more.
North Gaston. I
Yeah.
mean, they'd got shut out the week before,
Well, that's
24
better
to
than
nothing.
That's way better than nothing. That's a team from a
Terry, let me tell you.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
They-
Right now, and I'm with you as far as this. As far as Coach Glass goes, it's get some W's. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
And, a good win, any kind of win right now is good for the guys. And then you got East Gaston coming up next. You should go to 2-2. I mean, you should be no trouble beating now.
I mean, Terry, they beat North Gaston, who is 1-2 in a 3A conference. They lost to South Points, who's in a 2A conference. Up and down, 0 points, 32 points. You just don't know with the Wolves right now, right? They get a freshman quarterback. He put points on the board. Hunter, real quick before you go, you're going to Raleigh today. Is that what you said? You're in Raleigh to watch. Who's playing football in Raleigh? They don't play football in Raleigh anywhere, do they?
No, they really don't. I'm surrounded by red, and I really don't know what to do with it. For those that don't know, my mother is a state alumni, so we're coming out here to watch the the Wolfpack play against Western Carolina. I actually have a friend of mine. I've known him since he was very tiny. He's younger than me. Trevor Childers used to play at East Lincoln High School. He's a linebacker for Western Carolina, and we're going to come out here. We're going to watch him. I'm probably going to, even though I have to wear red so I don't get jumped out here, probably going to root a little bit harder for Western Carolina. But, I'm just hoping I get to watch good football today.
Well, while you over there, honey, bring me back one of them North Carolina State #1 sign hanging up.
You want a finger? You want a foam finger, Terry?
You want a foam finger, Terry? I don't know. You're gonna have to ask Kevin if they'll give me a raise so I can do that.
NC State today hosting. Hey, you can look at this.
Noon,
you
right?
can look at this one of two ways. They're playing an opponent today that has both Gardner-Webb and Alabama on their schedule.
Hey.
So you're playing an Alabama tough. NC State's playing an Alabama tough schedule right here with Western. So good job, Terry. Y'all are starting to schedule hard teams like Western, just like Alabama does, right?
There you go.
That's how college football works.
Hunter, you need to go to Greenville. That's where the real game's going to be today. East Carolina.
I need to go to Greenville.
Who's playing?
A&M.
A&M.
East Carolina and Gardner-Webb. That's going to be the upset of the year right there. Gardner-Webb's going to go down there.
Oh, you got that
stomp
today?
a hole. Yeah.
Philip Russ, if he's listening, is not going to like that call there, Shannon, the pirate. Well, Hunter, before you go, I need a prediction on tomorrow's NFL contest between the Washington Redskins and Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, we'll beat the Eagles by 24.
Oh, there you go, Terry. Hey, I picked the Redskins in the paper this week to beat the Eagles.
Did you?
And Terry just said the Eagles won't make the playoffs. I think Will did too. So
I think that's crazy. I actually have my playoff teams right here. I know you guys are doing playoff teams. So
go ahead.
I'll go ahead and read them off to you. Terry, you can shake your head a little bit if you want.
He will.
In the NFC, my division winners, I have the Saints at 12-4. I'm going to agree with Will and say I think the Packers will have a good year. I have them at 10-6 out of the North. The Eagles at 10-6 out of the East. Out of the NFC West, I have the Rams. And then my wild cards are the Falcons and the Vikings. So, yes, Terry, I do not have your precious Cowgirls in there.
Hunter, you and me have the exact same playoff teams in the NFC.
People say great minds think alike.
Obviously.
Again, just like I try to tell everybody, when you have a top 5 defense in the NFL, it's going to make the playoff.
Vikings have that.
It's going to make the playoff.
Terry, you got a garbage quarterback.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant, Terry. The Vikings have that.
Yeah. Who you got in the AFC, Hunter?
AFC, I have the AFC South. I have the Texans at 11-5. AFC East, I don't even have to read who I have out of that. It's easy, but I'm going to say it anyways. Patriots at 20. The Patriots are 12-4. AFC West, I think Terry needs to lay off whatever he's taking in the morning since he thinks the Chiefs won't make it. I have them at 11-5. AFC North, I have the Browns winning that division at 9-7.
Oh my Lord!
My wild cards, I have Pittsburgh and the Tennessee Titans. I have Pittsburgh at 9-7 as well. I think that division is actually going to be really tough between the 3 teams in Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland. They're just going to beat up on each other. So 9-7 wins it, and the AFC's weak throughout besides the top. So I think 9-7 and 8-8 get in the playoffs.
Hunter, you and I
as wild cards.
You and I have 11 of the 12 playoff teams the same. The only one that you have that I don't have is Tennessee, and I have the Denver Broncos. But the other 11, we're on top of that.
That figures. One of them's a Cleveland man, the other's a Redskin man.
Good
job.
What are you talking about? Redskins aren't in this playoff.
I was about to say, I don't understand your logic.
There's no
You
Redskins
can't
in
say
this
the
playoff.
Cowboys are going to win it every year. It just don't happen.
Cleveland won 7 games last year with Baker Mayfield and didn't play all 16 games. They added OBJ. Their defense got better. So that's at least 2 wins. So that's 9-7, like Hunter just said right there. And that's before
And
they
here's the
stomped
thing
somebody in
as
the ground.
well, Terry, that you got to realize. You want to think the Redskins are going to have a terrible year. Well, even as injury-ridden as we were last year, we still finished 7-9.
I got them 7-9 in the paper, Hunter.
I'm just saying. I hope you don't think Week 2 is going to be a blowover for your Dallas Cowboys.
Where do we play at?
You play at the beautiful JK. It's actually a disgusting-looking field, FedEx Field.
Oh, that's right. We got a winning record up there.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Hey,
That's our home field.
Terry just gave me a speech about going back into the past. And then he comes back into the past for this one. And then when Will talks about Packers, then he goes back into the past. Sometimes he goes back into the past.
Yeah.
That last year, Burns winning last year don't count, but the Cowboys winning does. You got that?
Oh, I think, and see, that's what's so crazy is Terry every day or every Friday when we do the pregame show. What does he do? He brings up history. He brings up history, what they did in the past.
That's right.
So.
Hey, he can't deny that, can he? They can't deny that.
No, he
but
can't.
if right now Cleveland County pool play, Burns and Kings Mountain would be advancing. That's all I know.
Oh,
hey, you're not even a Cleveland County person, Terry. Hey, if you know the standard, Terry. The standard,
is the standard,
Terry. So that's all you need to ever know. So, all right,
exactly
Hunter.
right.
Before you go, Super Bowl prediction.
Super Bowl prediction. I've got the Chiefs playing the Saints. I've got the Chiefs coming out on top.
Andy Reid wins his first Super Bowl, according to the Yancey Man, on the Saturday Morning Sports Talk. Terry, you got any more? You got any good luck to him for the state today?
Go ahead, Hunter.
You got to make us one promise. When Western Carolina wins today, I want to see you hanging on a goalpost.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll run down there. But I was going to say, Terry,
the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Terry, I don't understand how you can keep knocking Patrick Mahomes, a 5,000-yard, 50-touchdown man, and say he won't make the playoffs.
He's in a sophomore. Every defensive coordinator in the NFL has learned how to stop him already.
No one's been able to stop Andy Reid's offense even under Alex Smith, and I think Patrick Mahomes is better than Alex Smith, so we'll see how that works.
All right, I do got one more question, Hunter.
Yeah.
Is the UNC middle linebacker a better quarterback than the Chicago Bears have?
Well, I mean, there's a reason he's playing linebacker.
Let me ask you this, Hunter.
Yeah.
If the UNC middle linebacker played quarterback for Chicago on Thursday night, would the Bears still have the same record right now as they do today?
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
Only because
they could have saved $20 million in a number 2 pick. Yeah. They could have saved $20 million in a number 2 pick by just putting in Chaz and losing 10-3.
I'm gonna say yes only because I was very surprised with how good Green Bay's defense looked. I think Green Bay's gonna make a little bit of noise this year. I don't want to give Will too much credit, but I don't think they're Super Bowl bound.
Rodgers 18 of 30, 203. Trubisky had 3 carries, 11 yards. Chaz can do that. All right, Hunter.
Look. I know the Bears are in a little bit of trouble on offense unless they can get something going in the next few weeks. But defensively, they're still fine. That defense will keep them in games.
All right, buddy. I know you're missing, and the thing you're upset the most about is you're missing our Mitchem's Kitchen breakfast.
I am. I'm actually very upset about that. I was really looking forward to a chicken biscuit this morning. I was hoping there might be one magically here, but there wasn't.
Well, Cinefania didn't make it in today, and we're going to talk some about that here in a little bit. UNC Charlotte goes to App. He decided he wasn't going to show up for the next 3 weeks once they played each other. So Cinefania is out. You're out today. Shannon joined us. Will came in. But thanks for Hunter. Give us a call. You stay hydrated in Raleigh today.
Yes, I'm going to try to.
That's the word of the day, Hunter. Is hydration.
Word of the day: hydrated.
It's going to be 90-something degrees.
It's going to be hot. Yeah.
It's going to get real sweaty watching Western Carolina whip NC State.
Right. That's what I'm hoping for.
That's what we're hoping for. All right, buddy. Have a good one.
All right.
See you next Friday night. All right, Hunter Yancey.
Absolutely.
Be hosting the pregame show with Shannon and Terry here next Friday night again. He'll be out at the Lincoln County Game of the Week next week, East Gaston and Lincoln. When we come back, we're going to finish the NFL, and then we got to talk college football in just a few moments, just a little bit, guys, on ktcbroadcasting.com.
Who are you? You're not a goat. Oh, you say you feel like a goat since you didn't buy your car from Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. And now you're putting up with a bunch of bull. Don't be like my friend here. You get no bull at Renato Honda and Renato Kia at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. 4423 East Dixon Boulevard. Don't let another dealer get your goat.
With a roster full of young superstars, the sky's the limit for the 2019 Atlanta Braves, and we'll bring you every huge moment.
Fly ball to deep left center field. At the track, looking up, it's out of here.
Atlanta Braves baseball back again on the Boston, Carolina country. WHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia. When you shop our local advertisers, be sure to tell them you heard it on the radio. That way they'll know that their radio dollars they spend works for them and you too. Even in today's fast-moving world, radio remains the leading media to reach more people. 93% of Americans listen to AM/FM radio over the air. TV viewership is 89%, smartphone use is 83%, and personal computer use is 50%. So if you're a business owner, reach more people with the power of radio. If you don't tell it, you can't sell it. See the power of radio. WHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, WCSL Cherryville. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
This is Evangelist Kim Earwood with Jesus Until the Whole World Hears Radio Ministry. Join us each Sunday morning from 8 to 8:30 a.m. for worship and the Word of God on 1390 and 1590 a.m., 101.5 FM, and ktcbroadcasting.com and live on Facebook. Also, be sure and stay tuned from 8:30 to 9 o'clock on 1390 a.m., 101.5 FM, ktcbroadcasting.com, and live on Facebook for half hour of praise and worship with Jesus until the whole world hears.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Wednesday morning from 11 to 12 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Golf Shop Radio, Wednesday mornings at 11 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com. Brought to you by Fred Caldwell Chevrolet in Clover, South Carolina.
Check out the new rates at the Crows Mountain Golf Course, voted Gaston County's #1 golf course. Play and ride Monday through Friday for $28. After 1 p.m., just $25. Seniors 55 and older play and ride for $25 Monday through Friday, and Monday is Ladies' Day. Play and ride for only $18. And on weekends and holidays, play and ride for only $38. After 11 a.m. for $33. Crowder's Mountain Golf Course. For your tee time, call 704-734-0383.
And welcome back to Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. I'll send it to them.
Welcome back to Saturday Sports Talk. Finish up our NFL Power Poll. Before Will left, we were getting into ruining Shannon and Terry's day real quick. I'm going to skip everything. We've talked about our playoff teams. My playoff teams: Vikings, Texans, Broncos, Falcons, Steelers, Browns, Rams, Chiefs, Saints, Eagles, and Patriots. Hunter and me had the same teams, except I had Broncos. Like I said, we talked a little Joe Flacco earlier. I think they always got a decent defense, and the AFC's kind of up for grabs. I see them squeaking in the playoff spot. AFC South, we were kind of all talking. Nobody has any type of a real feel for that. Does the defending Super Bowl champion, the Super Bowl champion Nick Foles gets Jags back in the playoffs? What about Texans? Bill O'Brien just got rid of every future asset they had to win now. The Colts just lost Luck. They got Brissett at quarterback. And then, of course, the Titans and Mariota, they made it the year before. So that leaves me some teams I'm kicking out of the playoffs. And we're going to talk about Cowboys and Panthers right now. Let's start with the Cowboys, since we're a Panthers affiliate. Last year, I had them at 7-9, and they went 10-6. This year, I got them at 8-8. Looking at the schedule, they could go anywhere from 7 to 10 wins, and I wouldn't be surprised. I put him at 8-8 when I wrote this, Terry. Zeke hadn't signed his contract yet, at least. So I thought at least 1 or 2 losses starting off the season. So 7-9 to 10, they could squeak in a playoff. I don't think they can win. I think the Eagles are just pretty good. And you keep saying about Wentz's health, and I totally agree. I've always been kind of on that. But I think if he does play, they'll make it. So I've got the Cowboys missing the playoffs. Said with a healthy defense and Zeke, they should compete for a playoff spot. But they'd have to beat once they got in the playoffs, they would have to beat Shannon, would you see the Cowboys going to New Orleans and going to L.A. or
No.
maybe the Falcons on the turf on the road or Minnesota on the road, but even up in Green Bay in December?
I don't think Dallas can go to Minnesota and win. I really
don't think so?
No. Minnesota's tough.
Terry got him into winning the Super Bowl, so
Holy moly.
I don't know how we got to this point.
The
with Terry.
whole offensive line is back that we did not have last year.
They'll get hurt.
We
again.
picked up Randall Cobb, which to me is
He
a
caught
plus.
20 passes from Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he wasn't
How is
great.
that going to be good for
And
Terry?
now all of a sudden we do have a tight end that can catch.
Can't run.
I don't care about any of that. The guy gets open. All you got to do is
I
hit
know.
him.
He runs that. He runs the wild
we
route.
didn't have a tight end last year.
He'll retire again.
You know, and we got now. Then when Cooper come along, Dallas's whole thing changed last year.
He had 80 yards in the last 3 games.
The whole thing
80
changed
yards
when
in the
he
last
come.
3 games.
And now you got Elliott back, and now you got Dak, who has really freed himself up now that he has a nice running back in the backfield to help him out, and he can run too. And then the defense, I'm telling you, Dallas's defense is in the top 5 in the NFL,
Right.
and they're deep. There's the problem people are not thinking. If somebody goes down in the linebacker corps, Sean Lee comes in, they don't lose a thing. I mean,
all right, well, let me ask you this. When you're talking about Zeke Elliott with the big contract he just got, all right, if you're playing on Dallas, you're looking at, if you're Prescott and you're looking at Elliott and saying, well, he just got this huge contract. What are you thinking?
well, we're not thinking nothing because Jerry Jones already come forward and said signing the other 2 guys will be easy now.
Dak will get as much as Zeke. Dak will get as much as Zeke.
But he's going to.
3 years.
They talking about signing. If they don't sign Dak by Sunday, it'll be by next Sunday.
Well, how about the
for
defense?
continuing
how
on?
How about the defense? So you got Elliott saying, okay, I'm this prima donna running, I'm this great running back.
He's
and
better than any NFL running back they are.
in Texas, yeah.
No, in the NFL.
So
he's 1,000 yards better than Gurley. I mean, I don't know where everybody's coming from saying you can't put Gurley in his same category.
If you were on the Dallas defense and you're looking at Elliott's contract, because it's going to be about money, you're like, well, why is he making so much money but we're doing all the work? If we're this, I'm just using your words now.
I'm with you.
We're the great defense, so that the greatest defense in the history of NFL. Why am I not making what Elliott's making?
They are. DeMarcus Lawrence is making more.
Yeah, probably.
I'm
just saying though.
Zeke agreed to
will
less
there be
than
any
Lawrence
animosity in there in the locker room between players now? I mean, they'll be happy because Elliott's back.
I think they're more concerned with him being back than they are.
Yeah, I don't think there's a problem there.
They're happy he's back
because they know with him on. No, I don't think so. With him on the field.
No. The problem's going to be when Dak signs his contract. And he's getting paid more than some of these quarterbacks that throw it better than him. Yeah. And then when he throws a couple picks, that's the defense is going to be upset. The defense is going to be upset about the running back. Defenses want running backs to carry the load.
And I'm the first one to sit here and say Dak does not deserve a $30 million contract. I'm and that's me. I think he needs to be in the same line as a $23 million guy. To even up with Brady, and you haven't won you won one playoff game, but you've not done anything since. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
I'm with that. But now, to give him a lot of money, I think that we're hurting ourselves. He does not deserve that type of money. But, I mean, I'm not the guy who's going to give it to him. Jerry Jones is. And he's going to pay him. He's going to pay him to stay. I mean, he's going to try to suit him up, and he's even said either by Sunday or next Sunday, Dak will have a contract in line.
I think Shannon could maybe give some advice to Terry on this one. The Cowboys are in a position with their roster and their team. They're now in a position to play Cam Newton Panthers ball, where they're not going to win. And what I mean about the passing and stuff, and when we get to that, and my comment about what I worry about with Dallas about Jeff Heath playing safety, I'm not worried about your D-line and linebackers. I'm worried about your quarterback, and I'm worried about your defensive backs, because if you do get in a shootout, I don't know if the defensive backs can shut anybody down. And I think the other team, and then Dak's not winning a shootout. So I think Dallas is in a position to play Panthers ball like they have the past 7 years, where write down 24, Terry. the average number in an NFL game. When the Panthers score more than 24, they win. Or when they hold the other team less than 24, the Panthers win. And I think Dallas is pretty much in the same position where if our defense holds under 24, we're going to try to score 23 to 29 with Dak and running the ball and Zeke. Dak and Zeke. That equals Zach, I guess, if you have them together.
Yeah.
But I think it's, I mean, they're looking like the last 7 years of the Carolina Panthers with this offense. Other than, even with Witten catching passes, I mean, you guys throw the tight end all the time.
Oh, Greg Olson's a huge part of that offense. But I agree with that. The secondary for, if you want to talk about the Panthers, is awful. That's their weakest part of their defense. And that's going to be a problem for them. And mentioning Dallas, yeah, I can see them mirroring each other there. You got two high-powered running backs. Okay, I'll give Elliott his due, but you got to give McCaffrey his due as well. All right, but I'll take McCaffrey over Elliott just for the simple fact that he's a team player. Elliott's about himself. I'll say that, and I'll leave it there.
I was about to say, we'll stop there, Shannon, because you don't know yet. Because what's going to happen, Terry, what's going to happen
in two stroke over here.
What's going to happen? See, because the agents run this. The players don't run that.
Yeah.
The agents do. So what's going to happen, Shannon, next year, when McCaffrey's contract starts coming up, and his agent's saying, well, he almost caught 1,000 yards and 1,000 rush. He deserves more money than Zeke. Because that's going to be coming from Christian McCaffrey. Then he's going to be holding out, and now are you going to say the same thing about him?
Probably having with Saquon Barkley, too.
Every single good running back like that, it's going to come down because they're all going to point at Zeke now.
Yeah, he's at
next year, or the next, the Panthers are going to say, are we going to pay Cam, give him an extension, or let him go? And are we going to give Christian McCaffrey $15 million a year? So y'all are going to have to make that decision, too.
What do you think? I hope they let Cam go. I
You're
really
the Panther fan. I mean, they're going to have
to do because he's one of those distractions that, I mean, he put up. I mean, I used to be a big Cam fan. He put up big numbers. It's like, man, he's the greatest quarterback that's ever played the game. But now it's like, I think, and I'm going to use Elliott here too. I think Cam got the big contract, and now it's like, well, maybe he's stepping back. He's not as a go-getter as he used to be. Just my opinion, okay? And a lot of people share that opinion too now. But then you go with Elliott saying, okay, we've given him this money. Now let's produce. I don't care how many yards you gain a season. What are you going to do to help this team get better and get into the playoffs and eventually get into the Super Bowl and then win the Super Bowl?
And then last year, Elliott become a back, just like McCaffrey, out of the backfield, who makes a linebacker have to play him. And there's no linebacker in the NFL that can play with him.
I do have one question on a point Shannon was making earlier, but it's it's on about the money and stuff. My only concern with the contract and money, as far as Zeke goes, is now that he does have that money, Terry, is he going to want to run as hard? Because once there's a difference between I'm only getting paid $3 million a year trying to get $15 million, and now you're getting $15 million trying not to get hurt.
Right.
Because he's got a 6-year deal. They're going to tear it up in 3 or 4. So he's got 3 years to say, well, this is the first of 3 years. I can't be going balls to the wall, just hard as I can every single play in this first year, right? I just maybe his agency.
I think he will the first year.
And I'm not even saying Zeke. I'm concerned about that with any running back or any player, especially a running back that's got 3 years on a contract. Like, hey, this first year might run out of bounds this time.
Well, you got to keep remembering Pollard's over there, so he's going to get some rest. And Pollard's not bad if he comes into the game. I mean, we saw that during preseason. I understand it was preseason, and I'm with all of that. But, I mean, that's like a minute ago when y'all saying McCaffrey or Elliott. Now, you've got to be in a real right mind to think somebody's going to take McCaffrey over Elliott in the backfield. That is a – Shannon, come on, man.
I'm looking at a team aspect. Forget the individual player. I'm looking at the best.
If you had the both of them, the only way McCaffrey –
no,
there's no way.
What?
There's no way.
Yes, he will.
If you give him the ball like Elliott's going to get it and say, go pound me some yards up the middle, no, that's not McCaffrey. Throw me a little dump pass and I'll go around the end.
McCaffrey's not afraid to hit the dive up the middle every play. He's not
no way. He's not going to dish out any punishment at all.
We could argue about this all day long.
That's not even funny. That's not even in the same ballpark with me.
What?
You are standing like 390 when the fence is only 320. I mean,
I'm up in the top bleachers there, yeah. But I will. Elliott, he's a fine running back. I'm not going to say he's a great running back yet. I'm not saying McCaffrey's a great running back yet. But what I'm saying is that for the best of the team, All right, for the best of the team. I like, and you want to compare Cowboys to the Panthers? All right, you talk about quarterback versus quarterback. I'll take Prescott any day over Newton, just for the fact he's a team player, and he's going to do the best to get that team in the position to win. Elliott and McCaffrey, it's going to be the opposite. I'm going to take McCaffrey again because he's going to put his team in, give everything he's got in order to put them in the best position to win. Now, Witten and Olsen, I'll give them, I'll take a pass on that one. I'll call that one square because they're both, I think, do what they can to do.
Yeah, they do.
But I'm just.
They're not elite athletes, but they get themselves open.
Oh yeah, they do, and I talk about retirement. I'm glad Witten came back because that is going to help Dallas. That's going to help Dax. That's going to help the whole offense.
It helps the locker room. It helps everything.
It does, and maybe somebody, Ezekiel Elliott needs a Mark Witten in there saying, okay, this is how you be a professional. Okay, this is how you act. Maybe, I don't know. This is all my opinion. And then. But when it comes down to if we're comparing position to position, all right, that would be my big, because that's the big three on both of them, all right. And then you could do that with any team. You could really do that with any team. But I'm saying, as far as putting my team in the best position to win, when it comes to running backs, yeah, I'll take McCaffrey.
So that's like me, and I think Dallas, and a lot of people say as well, to sit in here and say they're not going to be in the playoffs, something's got to happen. Somebody has to go down for Dallas not to make the playoffs. They're just so talented, and they've learning how to play. Now you got your offensive line back,
Terry,
and you got Randall Cobb over a Beasley. I mean, Randall Cobb is probably a better receiver than Beasley ever was, and
Randall Cobb's not better than Cooper, though. Would you say?
No.
Okay.
He's not better than Cooper. Cooper's the one that's going to spread your whole field for you.
Yeah.
But Randall Cobb is a Beasley guy, but I think he's better at it. You know what I'm saying? At doing the jobs that Beasley had to do. But and Dak will find him. I don't know. It's just my opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong. When you think about Dallas, people either like them or they hate them.
Yeah.
And if Dallas would go on and win the Super Bowl, hey, I mean, we never enter a year without us saying we're going to win Super Bowl. Now, if you are a Carolina Panther fan or a Buffalo Bills fan or a Jets fan or something like that, you can say it's going to be a terrible year. Yeah. Dallas never does that. Dallas, when they come in.
Dallas and the Panthers, neither one of them says that because y'all are both insane about your teams. And not once have I. Terry, you think it seems.
I mean, it makes me don't understand.
I don't even know if they'll make the playoffs.
Well, here's the problem. I don't understand. We're standing here and we're saying Philadelphia is so good. Okay, maybe, and I'm having a hard time figuring that out. Philadelphia's defense is not better than Dallas right now. There's no way they wasn't last year. Offensive wise, with Dallas with all their weapons back, and then people want to say Philadelphia's offense. Tell me a running back in Philadelphia's backfield that's elite. They do not have nobody. And then you're going to worry about Wentz, who has checked out the last 2 years of him making it the whole year.
Yeah.
And this year there's no Foles to come in and back him up.
So Terry, you keep saying Dallas's offensive weapons. You think you have weapons. Everyone else don't think you have weapons. That's the difference between your thoughts and everyone else's. Cole, but you keep talking about Randall Cobb. Last year, Cobb played 16 games. He had 650 yards. Cole Beasley last year, 675 yards. It's the same thing. Same garbage quarterback. Old tight end. I don't know what the center's problem. He's got vertigo or something. I don't know if he'll play the whole season. You see weapons. I see hot garbage all over the place. Besides Ezekiel Elliott, Amari Cooper had 80 yards in the last 3 games.
I see
3 games, 80 yards.
I see a veteran team now that is in year 4 being hard to stop. And
I see the 20th best quarterback on an average offense.
And I see weapons who can make a difference. I see Cooper deep, and I mean.
Can the Cowboys outscore New Orleans?
No.
Don't have to.
Can the Cowboys outscore the Falcons?
Yes.
I don't know. It's almost Falcons shows up.
Can the Falcons outscore the Rams?
The Falcons or the Cowboys?
Cowboys. Can the Cowboys outscore anybody? You're going to win every game 20-15 or 13, Terry. You're not going to outscore or beat anybody. Every game is going to be Panther ball. We win by 6 points or less. Either way. And in some games, you can get blown out by some of these teams that can score some points. They can win just like the Panthers. Keeping games close and y'all going to try to field goal somebody to death. Y'all got a new kicker again this year.
We play a Jason Garrett style game. That's what will hurt us.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the coach?
That's what I'm talking about. If we play his game, then it's coming down to the last second in every one we play.
But like I'm saying, we're going into a game. Am I picking the Cowboys to outscore the Packers, the Falcons, the Rams, the Saints, the Eagles, all of those NFC teams, and then even Minnesota's? I would say Minnesota and Dallas about even.
I don't even put the Saints in the same boat as us.
How can you just see?
Because, that's what I'm talking about. Because you got your elite quarterback over there, but when they played Dallas, he was shut off. He did nothing. Drew Brees, he's all elite quarterback, but against Dallas last year, he did nothing. Dallas shut him down.
You keep talking like Dallas won something last year, Terry. What did they do?
I mean, were you going back to the daggum Kansas City, Kings Mountain and Burns and all of that? Okay, well, I'm going back last year when we played each other and Drew Brees sat on a bench. He should have been shipped out and somebody took his place.
Who went further in the playoffs?
That's what it's about. Who can make it?
Who went further in the playoffs last year?
I mean, I'm sorry y'all didn't play nobody.
Saints. The Saints. They beat the Eagles. Who beat the Cowboys?
You beat the
Eagles. Should have beat the Rams.
Got crapped on the Rams because of pass interference call.
Part of the game.
So silly. JP, you about ready for a break? I know you are. I've got a list real quick after getting y'all all crazy. Real quick, let me give you some Panthers. I told you I was going to give you some Andy Dalton numbers. You ready for this?
There we go.
Terry, Andy Dalton is 68-50. Cam Newton is 68-53-1. Andy Dalton's got 2 ties too. Pretty close, isn't it?
That's pretty.
They were drafted the same year.
Oh, really?
Cam won, Andy Dalton in the second round, 35th overall. Okay. Yeah, y'all could have waited 34 picks later to lose this many years.
Where's Dalton from? Where'd he go to school? Where'd he go to college?
Where did Andy Dalton go to college?
I do not know.
Toledo.
Northern Iowa or something?
Yeah. How about this? Completion percentage. Cam 60, Andy Dalton 62. Yards, Andy Dalton 28,100, Cam 27,700. Yards per attempt, Andy Dalton 7.2, Cam Newton 7.3. Touchdowns, Andy Dalton 188, Cam Newton 182. Interceptions, Andy Dalton 104, Cam Newton 107. Rating, Andy Dalton 88.8, Cam Newton 86.4. Almost the exact same passing stats, drafted the exact same year. The records are even 68-50-2, 68-53-1. Both teams are kitty cat teams, logos, and both teams are from the Queen City. Both teams have lost 2 Super Bowls.
And Dalton has had more weapons than Newton does.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Newton's
wait a
done more
minute.
with less.
Whoa.
Newton's
No.
done more with less.
No. You keep saying that.
That's the truth.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me the Bengals have had better defenses than the Panthers?
No, weapons. We're talking about Newton and Dalton.
Who's better than Steve Smith?
Weapons. Steve Smith?
Who's better than Steve Smith the Bengals have had?
Steve Smith? He played 1 year with Newton.
Who cut him? That's y'all's fault. You can't blame the Panthers for getting rid of your receivers and say, Andy Dalton's had A.J. Green. How many first-round wide receivers have y'all drafted? In first and second-round draft picks?
Oh, yeah, it's been, I don't know how many, but, yeah.
Y'all keep giving him weapons. Yeah. Maybe it's the quarterback.
When you speak of
maybe it's the
Steve Smith, I do remember Steve Smith when he was out there would turn around and look at Cam like, who were you throwing that to?
Yeah.
You know,
1 or 2 years. They play very close together, but it's still Dalton has had more with less. He's had more with less. You got to look at that now.
Someone text me, Terry, the rushing stats for Cam and Andy Dalton. Oh my God, we are talking passing quarterbacks. We can talk.
Read Ken's rushing stats.
Why would I read that?
Because that's part of being a football player. It's part of being a quarterback.
So who's better? Who's won the most Super Bowls, Tim Tebow or Cam Newton?
Neither one of them.
Okay, exactly.
Well, here's my deal in behind that.
No, okay.
If you're going to go rushing, then maybe that's how come Cam can't pass no more. Because he's trying to take that rush attack and he's getting hit so hard where he should stay in a pocket like Andy Dalton does.
Listen, the majority of his touchdowns are from 3 yards or less. He is a touchdown poacher. If Emmitt Smith was on that team, Cam Newton would have been stabbed 10 years ago or 5 years ago. They get inside the 5. Ask Jonathan Stewart. Ask D'Angelo Williams. None of them are happy about their situations for being in Carolina because they get down to the 20. They get down to the 5.
Cam wants to run.
And on first down every time, they run the quarterback draw on first down inside the 10 every single time.
Because they have to be a show after he scores.
You got to dab, man.
He's got to
That's
do
part of it.
He's got to do the drug dance, and then he's got to do the.
I guess
that's what it is. It's a drug dance, and then he's got to do the. Then he's got to do the lead the team in the waves. Quarterback. That's leadership. My question was, Shannon, as always, do the backup quarterbacks, while Cam's out there doing the wave, are they supposed to turn to Ron Rivera and say, is he doing the right technique? What can I learn from this?
That's one thing about Rivera that I don't like. He let Cam be Cam. That's what he always said. That's just Cam being Cam. Well, eventually, that's Cam being Cam, but you're going to have to say, okay, you're now professional.
Yes.
Okay. Now,
what's Will Greer supposed to do? Like, which notes is he supposed to take from his leader, from the guy above him? You're supposed to be like exactly. Like, what's he supposed to be writing down?
Yeah.
But then on the worst end of that, though, it's our media who, when something happens, they follow Cam because they know that's what's going to happen.
Well, let's go back to Dallas here.
You
Okay,
know.
let's go back to Prescott and Cam. When they both lose,
Cam Jr.
When they both lose, now that's where I think again leadership comes into play. Prescott's going to sit there and take it. He's going to be very, very positive about what happened. He's not going to sit there and pout. Cam looks like my son when he doesn't get his way. You know, I mean that's part of being professional, and that's one thing I think is a very bad hindrance for the Panthers. And a lot of people think that. I mean, that's no secret.
I don't know. I'm just asking. Do you think he hits down his teammates or himself more? His behavior is just kind of weird to pinpoint. With the cross-dressing and everything. Like, it's always about attention.
I think for him, in public, publicly, he doesn't say anything about his teammates, but his demeanor, you can tell.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, I think it's about his teammates. I think he gets upset with them.
How do you feel about them switching to the 3-4? Kuechly, he's never been in this defense. My thing with him is the middle linebacker with concussion problems. Adjusting, I don't think it won't be that big of an adjustment nickel wise because y'all led the league in nickel the last few years. Y'all just live in
how to use it.
Y'all live in nickel defense. So, but the 3-4 as far as stopping the run, that changes some different assignments for him.
It's another linebacker, but it's still. I think that front four that they had the past 2 years, and of course I can't know his name of the names, but you're taking one of those guys out,
right?
Yes.
And I think that's going to be a huge. Now, granted, Dallas. Remember when the end they had that.
DeMarcus Ware.
Yeah, when
we switched to 3-4 and had to get rid of him.
Yeah, they had to move him to Denver. So or trade him to Denver. So I'm thinking something. I'm not a big fan of 3-4, but again, stopping the pass maybe. But
is it not weird, the Rivera being a defensive coach after all these years? All of a sudden, we're going to a 3-4. I don't know. I'm not.
He should be in charge of defense, but I can't figure him out though. I like the guy, but I just can't figure him out.
Last year I predicted them 7-9. They went 7-9, and this year I wrote 7-9 again. I got them and Tampa both going 7-9. Tampa I think is going to beat some teams the same way Miami is coming down to Florida. It's going to be hot. They're going to throw it. Bruce Arians is going to throw it 40 times or 50 times with Jameis. They're going to upset a couple of teams, I think. And he's a good coach. I like Bruce Arians. Just looking going forward on that. Do you have the Panthers in the playoffs? Did you have them? You didn't.
Out of the South,
Terry, did you have them?
No.
Will had them, right? Didn't he say that?
He said the Pack. Well, Panthers.
He had the Panthers, I think. In the playoffs.
He changed the Packers. Yeah, I think the Buccaneers will be in the playoffs. I think the Saints will come out of the South.
Okay, so you got the Bucs rising. Now, my comment on them was the NFC South is notorious for last place teams
finishing first next year,
making a run or something. Yeah. And I could see them. I got them at 7-9. I don't feel confident enough to put them in the playoffs yet. But I mean, that offense it's gonna be tough. Jameis he's nuts, but he can throw it.
They got a coach now that is if you want to say a gunslinger, he's going to take chances, and he's got a quarterback that can do that.
Right.
So that's why I put them there.
Mike Evans is a pretty good receiver too.
Oh yeah.
All right, Terry. How about my Browns? I got them 11-5.
I am so happy the Browns are going to be good.
Aren't you?
I sure am.
They're going to win it.
And
before 3 years ago, Terry never mentioned the Cleveland Browns once on this show.
There's no way you cannot mention them every week we come in here. I mean, either we wearing a toboggan with the Browns on it, or we wearing a shirt with the Browns on it. But I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad But here's my deal for any Cleveland Browns fan, and Tom, it's for you if you listen, and I hate it. If you've never beat Pittsburgh twice in a season, all the way back in the 1980s, you have to go so far. So the last time Cleveland beat Pittsburgh twice. Until you can get over that hurdle, and that's what it's all about, then come talk to me.
Now, wait a minute, Terry. I'm going to take that logic, and I'm going to shift this to Shannon real quick. If the Shelby Golden Lions can't get over the hurdle of beating the Burns Bulldogs, how could they expect on winning a state championship?
It happened. They did.
Right? Did the Browns have to beat the Steelers this year to win the Super Bowl?
No, they don't have to beat them.
They go 14-2 and never have to worry about Pittsburgh.
They got to go
14-2.
Roethlisberger says he don't know who Cleveland is. I beat them every year.
That's fine. 14-2. Now who else is going to beat us?
Yeah, that's bad.
Lewis Riddick got a 16-0 on ESPN.
The only thing Pittsburgh got now, they got Schuster out there.
I mean, he probably looks at it and says, "What does that say?" Does
Denzel
that
Ward's
say
going to shut Schuster down.
Mayfield or Manziel?
No Juju.
Both of them. It start with an M.
All right, let's pick our games. We'll talk about college football to finish up the show. Tennessee at Cleveland. I got Browns.
I take the Browns.
Ravens in Miami, 90-some degrees.
That's not even going to be a game.
In South Beach.
Baltimore Rolls.
Dolphins.
No, Baltimore Rolls.
I've got the Dolphins on my sheet winning this game.
I sure am glad y'all picked the same one.
Here's why, Terry. I'm pretty sure the Dolphins are going to make Baltimore wear their black uniforms down there, too. Miami's going to be in the all white. Here's the dumpster fireball of the week. Maybe we might find another one, but this is a good dumpster fireball. Buffalo Bills at New York Jets.
Bills.
I'm gonna take
defense reason. Bills.
Yeah, I agree. Bills.
I've got in the paper Bills. Now the next game is the most expensive game of the week. The second most expensive is the Tennessee Titans at Cleveland Browns game. This is Redskins at Eagles. I got Skins winning on the road in week 1.
No,
Case Keenum surprise of the week 1.
Eagles too good enough.
Yeah, Philadelphia.
He just told us Philadelphia ain't no good.
I got them in the playoffs.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Rams. We're gonna fit at Carolina. Shannon.
I'm gonna say Carolina because it's early.
1-0 for the Panthers. Terry.
And I got them coming across to play their first game. I say Carolina going to win.
I almost never pick cross-country victories. But this is the thing where the Rams are really good. And we don't know about the Panthers and Cam Shoulder and all that other stuff. I will say it's unfair.
We don't know about Gurley's either now.
Oh, I'm not worried about Gurley.
They
They got plenty of weapons without Gurley.
They lost Dominican Sue.
Now, what I'm concerned about, or what I don't like about what the NFL does, is the scheduling with this. So the Rams are playing the Panthers, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the East Coast. At 1 o'clock.
Yeah, 1 o'clock.
What time is that on the West Coast?
That would be 10 o'clock.
10 a.m.
Yeah.
So basically the Rams are playing at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Their body time is 10 a.m. The Panthers have another game down in the season. They got another AFC West or NFC West team coming. And it's the exact same thing. It's I think it's the Seahawks at 1 o'clock on a Sunday, and that's another 10 a.m. start. And for years they've done that. And I don't understand why they don't play at 4 on those so that the West Coast can watch the game at 1 as a regular time. And then also it gives the West Coast teams a actual, hey, this is our real sleep pattern. Instead, they've got to wake up now 3 hours earlier, basically, than they normally do. They got to get up at like 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. now on the road.
Because primetime wants to watch Dallas, and the Giants do not want to watch a Rams and Panthers
Terry,
game.
Detroit and Arizona is also on at 4, so you get that one for $16. Chiefs at Jaguars.
Chiefs.
I'm taking Jaguars.
Week 1, I got Chiefs. I like the Jags. It's going to be closer than people think on that one. Terry might be right. You never know. Only one team has a Super Bowl winning quarterback on it. Brissett. This is the NC State quarterback butt bowl. Brissett versus Rivers. Colts in Los Angeles. I got Chargers.
that's a tough one. And here's how I do it. You got Luck without him. You got Brissett, and then you got the Chargers without Gordon. And I know how L.A. was when Rivers was there without a running back. And, I got Chargers making the playoffs, but it would not surprise me if Indianapolis do not beat them out there.
No, I'm taking Phillip Rivers.
Bengals in Seattle.
That's not even funny. Seattle.
We all got Seahawks. That'll probably be since we all picked that one, that's definitely the one we miss. Giants and Cowboys.
Dallas wins.
Yeah, Dallas.
I got the Giants winning in Dallas. No, Eli Manning has owned. You keep talking about Cowboys owning FedEx. Eli Manning has owned the Dallas Cowboys in Jerry World.
He has. I agree with that.
Lions at Arizona. Kyler Murray's debut. Can he beat the Detroit Lions?
That'd be your game on TV right there.
Yeah.
Probably will be. Just because Kyler Murray.
Yeah, you're right.
Either one I'm picking them?
I'm taking Detroit.
I'm going to take Detroit. Yeah.
I've got the Lions. Game of the week on the What's Up Shopper worth 3 points. Steelers at Patriots.
You're playing in New England.
Looks like I skipped 49ers and Bucks.
Yeah, I thought that's what you were talking about. I was like,
no, I skipped 49ers and Bucks on my sheet, actually. So there's a game missing on our What's Up Shopper. So 49ers at Bucks. I got Bucks.
Yeah, Tampa.
Cross country. Tampa. Texans at Saints. Two pretty good offenses on the turf. Should be a shootout in New Orleans. I got Saints at home to start the season.
Yeah, Saints are tough at home.
Broncos at Raiders. Monday Night Football.
Yeah. What? Raiders?
Yep.
They're silly.
I'm thinking Broncos on that one.
Denver starts their playoff quest with Joe Flacco in week 1. If he can handle Brady in the playoffs, he can handle Derek Carr in week 1. Broncos win on that one for me. All right, JP, let's take a break. We'll be back. Real quick, my picks for the Super Bowl were New Orleans over Patriots. You guys?
I've got the Chiefs over the Vikings.
Dallas and New England.
Dallas and New England. All right, we'll be back in a minute. KDCBroadcasting.com.
Is it time for a new roof for your home or business? If so, call Creason Roofing of Cherryville. Creason Roofing in Cherryville will meet or beat any competitor's pricing on a new roof. That's one of the reasons why they have been serving our area for over 40 years. Steve Creason, along with his wife, son, and daughter, all work together as a family and a team. They take pride in their work and reputation. Just call 704-435-1791 or visit the website at CreasonRoofingLLC.com. Like them on Facebook, too. That's Creason Roofing of Cherryville. Who are you? You're not a goat. Oh, you say you feel like a goat since you didn't buy your car from Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. And now you're putting up with a bunch of bull. Don't be like my friend here. You get no bull at Renato Honda and Renato Kia at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. 4423 East Dixon Boulevard. Don't let another dealer get your goat.
When the chips are down.
Nachos with jalapenos, maybe a little pulled pork on the top.
And the heat is on.
Ooh, hot chocolate. Warms the soul.
Who will step up to the table?
A buffet? Sweet. Now we're talking.
And take control of the game.
What game?
Whatever your reason for loving college football, it's all right here on the Tar Heel Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Join the boss as we broadcast live this Saturday, September 7th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at MS Power Sports in Gastonia. We'll be there with free Subway sandwiches, chips and soft drinks too, and register to win some great prizes. And be sure to check out the Hunter specials on ATVs, UTVs, and side-by-sides. Prices have been slashed for this special day. So plan now to be there this Saturday, September 7th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at MS Power Sports, 4804 Wilkinson Boulevard in Gastonia, online at mscycles.com. Make your business or office a Boss of Carolina Country listener post. All you have to do is tune your radio in your business or office to 101.5 FM, 107.5 FM, or 92.3 FM. Let us know and we'll put your name on the radio. And each month we'll have a drawing from our area listening post for a dozen breakfast biscuits from the Creekside Clock Restaurant in Shelby, along with coffee or tea. Area listening posts include Promotion Motors in Lincoln, Cherryville Signs and Graphics, Lowe's in Lincoln, Watson Carpet and Tile Lincoln,
RD Mattress Cherryville, Carolina Furniture in Lincoln, Memory Lane in Krause, Davis Brothers Automotive in Lincoln, It's Your Feed in Cherryville, Deja Vu Consignments in Cherryville. So make your business or office a Boss or Carolina Country listening post today. Here's what's up in Cleveland, Gaston, and Lincoln counties. Brought to you by the What's Up Shopper, Carolina Country WCSL, and the Boss WOHS and WLON. Friday, September 27th, it's the Carolina Federal Credit Union presents the 12th Annual Scholarship Golf Tournament. Lunch and registration at 11 a.m., shotgun tea at 12 noon at the Cherryville Golf and Country Club. For more information, call 704-435-0186. And that's What's Up, brought to you by the What's Up Shopper, Carolina Country WCSL 1590 AM and 92.3 FM. The Boss WOHS 1390 AM and 101.5 FM. And WLON 1050 AM and 107.5 FM. For more information, go to whatsupshopper.com.
And welcome back to Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. I think, man, did you finally turn yourself on?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
We good, JP. We got it in here. I've got a fresh college football fans love polls, don't you? You guys love polls, right? Y'all don't want to answer that. Y'all scared where I'm going?
Yeah.
I've got a poll for you. See how much you agree. Shannon, you're a Clemson fan, so this doesn't affect you. It does affect Terry. I'm going to count down backwards. This is from a Twitter feed called the Fifth Quarter College Football. Number 7, Charlotte. Number 6, ECU. Number 5, Duke. Number 4, North Carolina. Number 3, North Carolina State. Number 2, Wake Forest. And number 1, ranking in North Carolina, your Appalachian State Mountaineers. What do you think, Shannon?
No, A&T or North Carolina Central?
They're right behind State.
Okay. I don't. Yeah, you know.
Huh?
I'm not.
What's wrong with that poll? That's what I said. That's what I was asking you for. You're a South Carolina Clemson fan.
No, but still, it's still a football fan. That's ridiculous. That's awful.
Who's the best team in North Carolina
right now? Yeah, I don't know. North Carolina.
Huh?
I'd say North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
They won 2 games last year.
They won 1 game, and
Right
all of a
now.
sudden
Not
they're the
last year.
best team.
Right now. Well, who they play? Look who they beat.
I don't care if they beat South Carolina.
They beat
South
South
Carolina's
Carolina.
one of the lowest
Who is
rated
NC
SEC
State? Who is
teams
NC
they
State
are.
beat? Who is NC State?
East
beat?
Carolina.
East Carolina won 2 games last year.
Okay, it's about what South Carolina did.
Well, I'm just telling you right now. What was the score?
Oh, my God. Oh, my lordy, lordy, lordy.
So
now I know why I'm in this show.
What? y'all wanted to talk. Y'all like the bowl? I mean the rankings. So I gave you the rankings from an official
that's
Twitter
like
feed.
bringing like Appalachian. I cannot remember. Well, matter of fact, we've never lost to Appalachian. So,
I mean, have you played us?
Yeah, we played you when you won the bowl game. The only one we was the only team to beat you one year.
Oh,
when
y'all
went
squeaked
and won.
by, right? I
No, we
remember
won
that.
going away.
So, of those teams in North Carolina, which one of those teams won a bowl game last year?
Yeah, Appalachian. I mean, they're unbeaten.
Wake Forest beat Memphis last year by 3. State win the bowl game last year?
No.
Did Duke won beat Temple last year?
Yeah, State did not.
North Carolina win a bowl game.
It was one
last
of them
year?
situations
Kids
where
didn't play, did they?
Did
Didn't
East
they have
Carolina
kids
win?
out?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You had kids who didn't want to play because we're going to the NFL.
Yeah.
So the only teams that won bowl games last year was App, Wake, and Duke. Duke beat Temple. Wake beat Memphis. And Appalachian State beat Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders.
I mean, if you really want to put that poll in a square box, it'd be Wake Forest be the best team in around.
Well, you said it yesterday. You or Hunter did when Wake Forest plays at home. Maybe during
They're
the break
tough.
or something. They're very good.
Yeah.
Wake
Very
Forest
good.
last year was 6-6.
They beat State.
Appalachian was 10-2. I'm just saying, guys.
Appalachian played Gardner Webb.
When?
Last year. Beat them like 70-7.
So does Western
played-
Carolina, who Alabama
Carolina
plays.
played Gardner
Alabama
Webb
plays Western, and Western plays Gardner Webb.
Yeah.
So we can't really talk about anybody's scheduling.
Well,
Everyone.
that's what you're doing, right? I mean, you're saying teams play different teams. And
Why don't the SEC teams play all SEC teams instead of because they'll have actual losses on the records instead of playing
you know that's right.
instead of Western Carolina? in the Bahamas Bowl.
Giving these other teams money.
FIU versus Toledo in the Bahamas Bowl. I'm guessing that ain't happening this year. I don't know the situation on that after the hurricane stuff, so I do not know. All right, let's go down some of the top 25 games. Real quick note, Shannon, of the UNC Tar Heel games this year, including Clemson, the most expensive ticket in Chapel Hill this year
is Appalachian.
The Appalachian State Mountaineers. $114 for one of those. $110, I think, for the Clemson tickets to see that. All right, let's go down to top 25. We make our picks every week. Ohio State hosting Cincinnati. Number 5 versus nobody.
Ohio State.
7, Michigan versus Army.
Michigan.
Number 20, Iowa hosting Rutgers.
Iowa.
We've got... Can Charleston Southern beat South Carolina today?
Yes. South Carolina's got a new quarterback, right? So Charleston Southern.
What about Trey Harbison? Can he beat the Utes today? Northern Iowa, Illinois, in Utah.
No.
They can't handle the Harb?
They play on Tuesday night maybe, but not on Saturday afternoon.
Game of the week probably 12, Texas A&M at Clemson.
Opportunity, but they're playing at Clemson, so that's going to make a difference. Clemson wins.
Yeah, Clemson.
17, Wisconsin hosts Central Michigan.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, the Badgers.
Number 25, Nebraska at Colorado.
Scary. Colorado.
I'm saying Nebraska.
New Mexico State. Tough games this week in the SEC. Alabama hosts New Mexico State. Georgia hosts Murray State. Good job, guys. Washington State hosts Northern Colorado. Another good job, guys. I'm guessing everybody's hanging on that one. Oklahoma. Tough game in Norman Day. They got South Dakota. You can get a ticket for $9.
Yeah, but let's go back up here. The one game on there I think is going to be very interesting. That's A&T at Duke. North Carolina A&T can go in there and win. Don't be surprised. That don't happen.
Gardner-Webb's at East Carolina today. You get that one for $32. Duke costs $59 to watch that, but you can go to Oklahoma game only for $9. Who would pay $59 to watch A&T and Duke play football?
That's a home game.
But you wouldn't pay more than $9
because nobody from South Dakota is going to come to
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. They're trying to fill the stadium.
Yeah. It's in South Dakota. UCF at Florida Atlantic today. Is there going to be an upset?
No, UCF.
No, yeah, UCF.
We've got number 6 LSU, probably the only good matchup in the whole college football today. Unless Texas A&M can do something. Where did I just lost them? LSU is at number 9 Texas for $48. It's more expensive to watch Duke and A&T than number 6 versus 9 LSU and Texas today.
I think Texas is going to win at home.
LSU.
Think LSU?
I think the stat of the day is $59 to watch Duke and $48 for 6 versus 9. Tulane is at number 10 Auburn. UT Martin is at number 11 Florida. Not the Bills, but Buffaloes in Penn State. The Nevada Wolf Space Pack is in Oregon. Western Michigan at Michigan State.
You know the worst thing about these schedules is when you end so early, it's almost like watching Major League Baseball when it first starts up.
It's like spring training.
It's almost like, who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it that way. I
Preseason
mean, you're really
football.
worrying about, like, Clemson. I'm worried about State. Just win.
Yeah.
You know, that way you stay unbeaten and we go on to the next week.
My biggest thing,
I mean, that's
we talk about every week, Terry, is why do they, if there's 110 teams in Division One, why are they playing teams that aren't in Division One?
Especially a team you got beat by 40.
And then if you're in a Power 5 conference, why are you not playing Power 5 conferences? How big is it to brag about Alabama beating Western? Like, think about it. There are going to be people sitting in the stands, Shannon.
Yeah, I agree.
Saying out loud and proud of it, Roll Tide.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're going to be rolling Tide on Western.
Yeah.
And this is just... And then Nick Saban, and the reason I'm pointing him out, and they all do it, well, he'll be the first one to get on TV and talk about how tough the SEC is, and how tough the schedule is, and how great it is. And then he's got 4 games on the road, 3 or 4 of his out-of-conference games are just absolute garbage.
If I'm
it's
not
even
mistaken,
close to a good team.
Last year, at the end of the season, didn't they play Furman?
Yeah, they got
Furman?
something like that this year, too. I'll bring it up. It's not... it's not good for the sport. It just isn't. To me, it would be so much more interesting. We play an SEC team in the bowl game, like North Carolina, when they come third or whatever. We play somebody in the Peach Bowl. Well, why aren't we playing them in week 2?
Yeah.
And we went through the standings last week, and my point on it was that, Shannon, only 6 of the 14 SEC teams have a 500 or better record in conference. Here's where it gets even worse than that. 4 of those 6 were 500 even. Only 2 teams were above 500 in the conference last year.
In the SEC.
And 12 of them made bowl games. Only
Well,
2
because
winning
you
records
got
in the
Alabama and
conference,
Georgia. That's
and
only-
12 of
yeah.
them made bowl games.
Yeah.
So that's totally ridiculous in the schedule. This is who they play at the end of the year, Western Carolina in Week 11.
Yeah, so that's okay. Yeah, that's when they play.
They host Western Carolina before the Auburn game.
Between Mississippi State and Auburn, they play Western Carolina.
All right, JP, let's take a quick break, come back, finish up the show. We got news and notes and wrap it up on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Join the boss as we broadcast live this Saturday, September 7th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at MS Power Sports in Gastonia. We'll be there with free Subway sandwiches, chips and soft drinks too, and register to win some great prizes. And be sure to check out the Hunter specials on ATVs, UTVs, and side-by-sides. Prices have been slashed for this special day. So plan now to be there this Saturday, September 7th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at MS Power Sports, 4804 Wilkinson Boulevard in Gastonia, online at mscycles.com.
I'm Lon Helton, inviting you to join me as I count down the week's top 30 country hits with my co-host Miranda Lambert, who has a lot going on.
I am freshly married and freshly having a record out and, a tour. Yep, starts September. Got a bunch of new stuff happening.
That's Miranda Lambert this week on Country Countdown USA.
Country Countdown USA, Wednesday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, and online at KTCBroadcasting.com. Who are you? You're not a goat. Oh, you say you feel like a goat since you didn't buy your car from Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. And now you're putting up with a bunch of bull. Don't be like my friend here. You get no bull at Renato Honda and Renato Kia at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard. Don't let another dealer get your goat.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. H.D. Reed, your West Lincoln Edward Jones advisor, understands this. That's why H.D. Reed is a proud sponsor of all West Lincoln athletics on The Boss, WLON. For all your investment needs, call 704-240-8724 or stop by the office at 841 Highway 27 West. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
Dare to compare with Health Mart from your locally owned Health Mart Pharmacy. That's Boss Drug in Gastonia. This month, mix and match, 2 for $7. Take your choice of Health Mart Milk and Magnesia, Health Mart Children's Cold and Flu, Severe Cold and Flu Caplets, also Health Mart Z-Sleep, Health Mart Ibuprofen IB, and Health Mart Dry Skin Lotion. Buy 2 for $7 at Moss Drug, 701 West Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. Open 7 days a week.
Isolated and alone?
That's how millions of Americans feel while experiencing a mental health crisis.
Need to talk? Our providers love to listen.
Call us now at 1-888-235-HOPE.
That's 1-888-235-4673.
Partners, improving lives and strengthening communities in North Carolina. 1-888-235-HOPE. 235-4673.
And welcome back to Sam Moore Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. Y'all on?
Hey, buddy. Yeah, we're
there
back.
You go.
We're just shooting some stuff. Terry, you just talk about that baseball game the other night. I got an attendance for you. People say that Charlotte cannot host Major League Baseball. Marlins, a couple of days ago, attendance was 5,200.
There you go.
Charlotte Knights, 8,500.
Yeah. Y'all been to a nice game?
I have not.
Yes.
If the Rays came up here in
Great
Charlotte, I
place.
think Charlotte would support it. And they're worried about, the Braves fans. Well, I think that at this point in the race, that has flown. Braves have enough fans in the South to be able to split some up.
Charlotte's about to get ready to lose.
Well, I'm going to tell you, though, you talking about the Charlotte.
Panthers.
Probably.
Last time I was at a Panther game, I ended up parking 2 miles away. to come and pay, but my ticket price over there was $25 to park. So, I mean, that's pretty good. But I had to walk like 2 miles to get there. When I went to the Knights game, I parked right across from the field for $5, walked right in, walked right out, and I'm gone.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a good place for baseball.
Here's another fun college poll. I got you. This one is an ACC. This is a I'm just going to get. There's 25 of these. I'm going to start at number 10. Number 10, athletic director calling for an expanded playoff. At number 9 is a team that had a convincing bowl win last year. Number 8 had a top 5 recruiting class, but just didn't do good. At number 7 is an SEC West team that could challenge Alabama. Number 6 returned 20 of 22 starters. Number 5 in the poll is the SEC East favorite. Number 6 is the team that has the Heisman contending quarterback. That's number 4. I'm sorry. Number 3 is the perennial top 5 blue blood. Number 2, Alabama. 1, Clemson. There's your top 10. Just fill in the names, right? Did you listen last week when we closed our eyes and named 14 of the 15 top teams?
No, I didn't.
We all just sit here, not looking at a single poll. Let's just start naming teams, and we got 14 of the 15 top teams in college football. Without knowing a single thing about college football, I can name 14 of the 15 top teams.
You picked Florida as one of the top.
We named
15.
them all.
Wow.
Didn't we, Terry?
Wow.
We did.
It was a interesting experience. Trying to find. I like to do my news and notes here at the end of the day. Go through some old tweets. I do want to make a quick note about a high school. A couple of things about last night's broadcast, folks. When we do these county rivalry games, we do have 2 broadcasts for them here in Cleveland County. You're more than welcome to listen to the Crest or the Burns broadcast. The home team we put on the radio. Nobody here cares that much who wins or loses. Dennis might have a hurt feeling or two over here when Crest gets knocked out of pool play. Shannon's upset they're knocked out of pool play too right now, but we get over it and we go on. Folks, don't take some of this stuff. We had a quote on one of our tweets. Somebody tweeted us last night, Shannon. All you did at halftime was show commercials and didn't show the band. This is the worst high school football coverage. He called us trash or something like that. Garbage high school football coverage, something like that. Someone said that Tom was disgusting because of how much he pulled for Burns on the radio.
Well, and I love the Fosters, but if you go listen to the Crest side and Root, I mean, they're going to do like Tom. They're going to give props, but they're going to be for Crest.
I don't think people understand that it's a team broadcast on that. But the whole, hey, you did a bad football broadcast, Shannon, because you didn't show the band.
Yeah, well.
Think about those words.
Yeah.
It was a terrible football game coverage, Terry, because you didn't show the band. Now, I guess we should respond to, well, folks, at the next band competition, we'll cut away for football practice. What do they want? He's like, I know you got to run commercials. Yeah. That's how it's a free broadcast. And speaking of that, he's an Alabama fan in Alabama right now that was watching. That's from Cleveland County. See, there's your Alabama fans.
War Eagle.
Can't make people happy, can you, Terry? You just can't never do it. Dustin George, I don't know if you saw his tweet from the other day from the Star. I want to say, give him a shout out. One of his last Saturday morning before the show. I didn't see it till after the show. He tweeted, "I love coming in the mornings and checking my emails and checking all the hate mail in Cleveland County about how bad a job I'm doing and how one person should be covering 4 teams at once." And
I'll give him credit.
I feel for you, buddy.
Yeah, he was at the Burns because I was going on the field. He was coming up after the game, and he was hustling.
And Dustin, if you ever want to come by here before or after a game, we got food, right, Terry? And we'll put him on the radio and we'll feed him and we'll treat him pretty good over here. And then he can get the hate mail from us, and we can send the hate mail. That's funny. The tweet. We turned the live chat on some of the games last night too. We've had them turned off in the past because people can't behave, and they still can't behave. Yeah. It's like, I don't understand why you can't have some civility on some of this stuff, and for say the mean things about any of the announcers who are taking their time and energy. And Terry, we spent a lot of time here in the studio in the last 24 hours, hadn't we?
Yeah, we have.
And for some people to get upset or over a free broadcast, which they could have bought a ticket for, right, Shannon? And bought a hot dog. I'm sure the ADs would be happy about that. All right, folks, that little quick note. Another quick note in high school I did want to mention. The Panthers do this thing every year. They give away teams new helmets, and you vote on them. And I had a slight problem with that. Is that, one, are they kind of doing it for PR for tweets?
Right.
Instead, why don't we just do a drawing?
Yeah.
So they're wanting more tweets and people to follow them. So that's one thing they're doing it for. 2, Shannon, how is Cherryville supposed to outvote Mallard Creek for new helmets.
You're right. It's all, yeah.
How would West Lincoln outvote one of those for new helmets? So with that, I want to mention Cuthbertson. Did you see what they did?
No.
Cuthbertson coach retweeted the Panthers thing about the helmets, and he said, "We will not be participating or asking anyone for votes. Please vote for one of the other smaller schools that deserve it and need it more than we do." So I want to give a pat on the back, a handout to the Cuthbertson Cavaliers football coach for putting that out there. Some of these 3A schools, some of them get new helmets yearly or every other year, or 4A schools, and they put a lot of money into it. And then these 1A schools, they couldn't win a fan vote, Cherryville or Highland Tech, to get new helmets. When instead of giving 75 brand new helmets to a 3A school, you could fund 3 1A schools. Yeah. Right? Yeah, you could fund Bessemer, Cherryville, and Highland Tech to get the same number of helmets as you would someone like Mallard Creek or something like that. So I do want to say I don't know, congratulations. I don't know how they did last night, but I do want to pat that coach on the back. I think that was a upstanding move. Any news or notes, guys, before we get out of here? I know we didn't get into too much baseball. The playoffs start this week. NASCAR, Jimmy Johnson's got to win to get in this weekend.
That's what I was going to ask you.
He can't do it. The Chevys have just been absolute garbage the last 2 years. Jimmy fired his crew chief halfway through the season. They just don't got it there, and at Hendricks or any of the Chevy. So I don't think they can do it, and we'll get ready for the playoffs starting next week. All that's on WCSL, of course. Shannon, any other news? Yeah, this is the last weekend. Playoffs next week.
Jimmy Johnson's got to win, or he's going to be left out unless everybody else gets knocked out early.
Yeah.
Let me say that I talked to Calvin yesterday about this. Next Friday night after the Shelby Crest game, we're going to have a fifth quarter at the Dover YMCA in Shelby.
Okay.
And he said I can announce it on here. So it's from 10 to 12, from middle school age to high school age.
Right.
And it's going to have security, parents, and it's going to be a safe environment. So if anybody's out there from Cleveland, I know Burns is off, Kings Mountain's away, but Shelby and Crest will be in town.
After the games, right?
Yeah, after the game, just make your way over to the Dover Foundation YMCA.
We haven't got word yet from West Meck if we're going to do video on that. I sent the AD an email, hasn't got back to me on that. So, but if you Kings Mountain fans, go see Shannon and the gang over at Dover YMCA. If you're not going all the way to West Meck, watch it on the on KTC broadcast. That's what y'all need to do over there, Shannon, is get a TV up over there so folks can check us out.
The Shelby Crest game first.
Well, I know that. I'm not you. I'm saying, but on Thursday or sometime during the day,
I think
so look at TV.
I think I talked to. They need to have it on the air though after the game, right. like playing over the thing.
Hey, I got a projector y'all can borrow if y'all want to hook it up to a computer and put it on the wall in there, and you can see us on the 50-foot wall. How about that, Terry? Y'all want Terry on the wall? We'll just listen to it. All right, Bandy's 1, Kings Mountain 2, East Lincoln 3, Shelby 4. The Devils of Newton Conover 5, and Burns 6, Thomas Jefferson 7, West Lincoln 8, Crest 10, Stuart Kramer 9 to round out the KTC broadcast top 10. That'll do it for another Saturday morning What's Up Shopper Sports Talk. We'll get into some playoffs to talk baseball next week. We had to give our big NFL preview this week, folks, and we got some more of that and more high school football next week to talk about. We'll have a new top 10. And more games.
Hey, did Burris get his yards last night, Mountain Island? Did he get the 114 he needed?
I'm pretty sure he did. I have not checked, but I'm pretty sure he did.
They scored a lot of points, 47.
Yeah, he probably
you think he got 100 on that one?
Yeah. All he needed was 114.
Kobe Pacehour last night, he touched the ball 4 times. He scored 4 times.
Wow.
3 catches, 3 touchdowns. They gave him an end-around 33-something yard touchdown run.
And he's a senior this
year. Junior.
Junior this year.
Him and the quarterback are juniors.
That's right.
Kalen Mack did not play. He's supposed to play next week is what I've been told. We got to go on ktcbroadcasting.com.
And we're out. Have a good day, KTC.